Hello everyone, Phil here, doing something that I didn't want to do, something that I didn't plan on doing whatsoever. Alright, tonight is a stream that's completely random, that, originally was supposed to be gameplay. Alright, I just want to get back to normality around here, but I'm not allowed to. So it's alright. Tonight, I basically am going to do something. I'm going to put an end to a lot of stuff tonight, for once and for all, because basically I found myself in a situation that, I'll be honest with you, I'm not surprised I'm in this situation, but at the very same time, I'm disappointed, for sure, but let's just say that this was not a shocker, nor is this something that has taken me by, oh my god, I can't believe it, nor was it not something that I had already planned. Because I pretty much knew what was going on all along, but let us begin, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, today's Friday, March 17, 2023. Yesterday I appeared on a podcast called Side Scrollers. It was a 5-hour interview. A lot of people like to call it an interrogation. I will call it an interview because that's what it was scheduled to be, and I feel like, that's what it basically was. To give you the quick backstory, I am a fan of an old website called screwtack.com from the mid-2000s. This website used to put out daily gameplay content way before YouTube even really was a big thing. And they used to have a podcast on there called, Side Scrollers. And I loved it. I listened to Side Scrollers. I used to listen to all the content, or watch all the content on the site. I was fans of those guys. I went out and met the people from screwtack.com at a convention called MagFest in 2007. This was long before I was ever a YouTuber. Okay? They were awesome people. But when I became a YouTuber, I kind of lost touch with them. Never really watched their content anymore. I was too busy making my own, just like I'd fill out watching a lot of people's content. I was friendly with a guy named Stuttering Craig. He was one of the two co-owners. Later on, he became, I think, the sole owner of the company. And he was running a convention in 2013 called Screwtack Gaming Convention. And so, they're looking for guests. I reached out, said I'd like to be a guest, and I'm a YouTuber. Here I am years later, used to be a big fan of yours, and I'm a YouTuber. Can I be guesting? And Craig was super nice, nothing but cordial, one of the nicest guys literally I've ever met. And at that time, the internet was starting to turn against me with that whole, this is how you don't play movement. And to have someone who was actually being nice to me was a rarity. Okay. That was the last time that I talked to Craig, 2013. Alright? And it's been a decade. A lot changes in a decade, correct? So out of the blue, Craig emails me, my business email, which is nice of him to actually figure out that there's ways to contact people via business emails when they list it publicly, but we don't have to criticize that tonight, I guess, someone else. Anyway, so we read my email last month, middle or early February, I would say. And it tells me, I'm rebooting Side Scrollers, and your name came up as one of the earlier people that we'd like to have on the show as a guest. Would you like to be on the show? I took a look and I was like, that should be interesting. Now, last year, in November, I had a update here with the internet. The internet had completely been flooded with people who wanted to dump on me, okay? Talking shit about me, constantly regurgitating the exact same memes that they've been regurgitating about me for 5 years. We have evidence of this and that and this and that, and it's not true, alright? That's the whole thing in this whole situation is, the things that people are saying about me are either completely untrue or partially untrue, with the actual truth being so ridiculously not what they're saying it is, that you get fed up. And for a while, I just ignored it. Every once in a while, I would mention something on my stream sometimes. As I said it yesterday, sometimes it's a little white lie, right? Like, instead of admitting that I'm playing a certain mobile game, I just don't play it at all. Why? It doesn't affect my streams. Why would I even bring it up or whatever? So anyway, all these memes going on, people always dropping in a negative light, and actually irked me, Moist Critical had said in one of his videos that he felt like I was one of the biggest e-beggars in all of this, and it pissed me off. I don't want to be known like that. So I said I would change my style, my content, and I'd try to do it less, right? And at that point, I said, if people want to really talk shit about me, why won't they interview me? Why won't someone interview me? I want someone to interview me. Just give me a fair shake to talk to me, and if we have a fair conversation, at least I can tell you my side of the story, right? So, originally, I was working with a couple big YouTubers on possibly doing this. It never came to fruition because what ended up happening was, essentially, what it was going to end up being was something bigger than that. Instead of just being an interview, it was going to be, here's the history of Darkside Phil on the internet, the highs and lows and everything. And after kind of working through that and talking with a couple people, I was like, I really want to do that right now. It's too much for me. Especially now this year, I wanted to kind of, change some things up. And, essentially, I wanted to continue to change and listen to my audience and do better content. I can't open a whole new channel called DSP Reacts and focus on React content and reviews and things if I'm embroiled in making a freaking documentary about myself. You understand? So I actually turned down the offers that I got from multiple different people and said, I'm going to move on from this. It's not a big deal. When side scrollers, I should actually Stuttering Craig, when he excuse me, I'm completely misspeaking. When Stuttering Craig emailed me in February, that is not what he offered me. He didn't say, hey, let's do an interview. He said, let's have you as a guest on our show. And to that I said, yes, let's do it. After he announced publicly that I was going to be on the show on March 1st, which I advised him not to, I outright told him, don't do this. This will not be good, because I just want to be a guest on your show. But he did it anyway. Don't know why. He went against my advice. When he did it, the internet blew up. Oh my God, Phil's going to be on a show. Phil never goes on a show. I can't believe Phil's on a show. So what happens is all of my detractors who make it literally the reason for their existence on the internet is to regurgitate the horrible native memes about me and profit from it. Like literally that's what they do. There's entire channels and businesses based off of hating on Darkside Phil on YouTube. We all know this. This is not, oh, it's news to me. Everyone knows there's a cycle of drama on YouTube that makes profit for everybody. Correct? So they all reach out to him. Excuse me. And he entertains it all. Basically, it's like, whoa, I'm so blindsided. I didn't expect that this was going to happen when I invited Darkside Phil onto the show, right? It's what I warned him about, but he didn't listen to me. He didn't actually take it seriously, okay? So he gets bombarded, and all of a sudden, he's seeing a lot of attention that he's never seen before. Keep in mind, the Side Scrollers podcast has just started. This show, on average, was pulling in between, I say around 200 viewers a show live. You know, afterwards you get a few thousand viewers every day on your show, you know, but the on-demand views or whatever. So it's not a huge podcast. It's not a tiny podcast by any means. It's not like 2 viewers, but you know, it's a growing podcast. It's a work in progress, and he's trying to rebuild it from the ground up, which is very respectable, trying to bring it back after that long hiatus. And so he's basically sees, oh, here's all these people who are now interested all of a sudden in my show, and they're basically telling me you absolutely must grill Phil. You can't just have Phil on your show as a guest. You have to grill Phil, because we don't like him, and here's the reasons why. Here come all the memes, right? So Craig is bombarded with these memes for 2 weeks. He contacts me again. He basically says, you know, well, actually, I think I wrote to him. I said, I saw on the show today we were harassed basically by these people or whatever. And, you know, I told you this is going to happen. And he basically says, yeah, in light of this, we want to do an interview. We don't want to have it be you would guest on the show like we normally have. Normally what their show is, it's a variety show. There's segments. There'd be a segment about news. There'd be a segment about everyone just shooting the shit. They have segments about all people's collectibles at their house or what they do when they show their collectibles. You know, fun stuff like that. Gaming and pop culture. It's a great show in that regard. So he says, I want you on as an interview instead. We have to basically have you on as an interview, because I don't see how we can just have you on as a standard guest with all the hate against you on the internet. And I agreed to it. I'm like, yeah, I'm down for this. This is exactly what I wanted to do, you know, months ago. And I actually felt that these guys would be a good neutral party to actually, essentially do the interview, because I don't think they had any vested interest in either making me look bad or good. I was wrong. Okay, that's the fraud, was I was wrong. I didn't understand until basically I found out exactly what was going on, which I have now. But they did have vested interest. It sucks that they did, because I didn't know that they did, okay? So, you know, for the last 2 weeks, I'm under the impression that I'm going into this interview, and it's going to be a very long, very grilling interview. I'm going to give them my undivided attention. I gave them unlimited time, and I said, you can ask me absolutely, positively anything. Anything. Okay? Anything. I don't care what it is. Just ask it. And that way I can answer it. And we actually have a place where I've answered all these hard questions about all the negative shit that's been said about me over the years. So here I am, thinking this is going to be a show where if it's going to be a very long show, they're likely going to be doing segments about all the stuff. I thought for sure they'd be bringing back the racist stuff I said in 2010. You know, how I got banned from all these different services and things and how that worked out. You know, the history of me essentially making mistakes on YouTube and, you know, all of that. All right, that's exactly what I thought. I thought it would keep going. I thought it would just keep going, like, through the history of all the messed up stuff. And it would tell a narrative of how over the years I make mistakes. People call me out for the mistakes, right? I either really, really failed to live up to that and improve, or I did in some cases. But essentially that's what I thought it was gonna be, okay? But That's not what it turned out being. We'll talk about that in a second. Okay. But, that was where it was left. And I was assured by Craig that there was not going to be any doxing. There was not going to be any harm to my family or anything like that as a result of being on the show or anything like that whatsoever. Now, you got to be a little skeptical because after getting closer and closer to this interview, I start getting wind that that Craig is like directly talking to all of your detractors every day. Like it's a Gundam. He's talking to these people who literally have entire giant video series about you that are all monetized and profitable. And the reason why they go down this rabbit hole is to make money. It's stupid, but that's why they do it. They know that the day that they talk about dark side, Phil, and negative light, it's big dollars for them. So people like this internet drama. And that's who he's talking to. Okay? No, I'm not aware of that. I figured he was bombarded by detractors or whatever, but what can you do, right? I mean, it's public record. He's talking with them on Twitter and everything, right? So, basically, I'm going into the interview and I'm trusting Craig. I am. Stuttering Craig, the owner of Screw Attack and now the person who runs Side Scrollage. I'm trusting him. This is going to be a fair interview. This is going to be unbiased, right? This is going to be neutral. That's a good journalistic interview. It's a neutral interview, a neutral stance. You ask questions, you get answers, then you make your judgments based on said answers. Okay? So the interview lasted over 5 hours long. Right? I gave them 5.5. I even stayed extra to help out their patrons, because their patrons get extra. I stayed extra as a favor to them. Said, I will stay late. Alright? It's by far the most popular piece of content they've ever put on the internet. Alright, and I'm talking about the Side Scroller show from now. I'm not talking about back in the day. I'm sure Screw Attack probably had way popular stuff. I'm talking about in the modern era. By far, you're talking 30,000+ views in less than 24 hours. The thing blew up and is getting bigger and bigger. Everyone clipping it, restreaming it, talking about it, getting a buzz. For what I'm to understand, okay, I don't know if this is true or not because I didn't tell you guys this. I couldn't see the stream chat. Like I purposely was not in the stream chat at all or paying any attention to it. I have no idea what happened. They made thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars on that show. Okay. Who did they make it from? The detractors. The detractors were there. And every time that basically they were asking a prying question or, twisting a little more, there was more contributions coming in. Okay. That's what I've been told. I didn't sit there and count the dollars as they came in. That's what I've been told for people who actually were watching the stream. You could see it coming in. People were adding up. They're like, oh my God, it's thousands. That's thousands of dollars that came in. Okay? So, what did I think about the show overall? I talked about it on DSP Gaming yesterday as soon as it ended. I felt that it was a fair interview. Because even though I'll admit, I think that Adam, who's one of the co-hosts, it was Adam and Craig that were interviewing me. I think that Adam was basically kind of very, very critical or didn't believe me. All right, I can tell you right now, I don't think Adam believed me at all. I think he thinks that I lied about everything I said out of my mouth. It kind of seemed that way, didn't it? Craig seemed more neutral. So it kind of fair more. It was like a good cop, bad cop interview. Correct? And it ended, and I did my own content for the rest of the day. I was fine doing it that way. And that's where everyone thinks it ended. Okay? Now, actually that's not the case. And that's actually one of the things we're going to talk about tonight, is what actually happened. Okay? Because that's not where it ended, because we have to talk about actually some of the topics discussed during that interview and where they led. Because you guys don't know this, so I'm going to tell you right now. Alright, one of the major things that happened during that podcast was discussion about a part 2, and that I would be back to keep answering questions. Because I felt there was a lot of stuff that was left out. But we already went 5 hours. They're out of time. Fine. We don't have to keep going. We'll have a follow-up. All right. So I'm under the impression if you're going to do a follow-up, right, you're going to save further discussion about Dark Side Phil for the follow-up. And it was said at the end of the show, you guys didn't hear this. It was off camera or whatever. But basically, it would be about a month or longer until there would be a part 2. That it would be at least like mid to late April, maybe early summer. It depended on their schedule. But they were very interested in having me back for a part 2. That they wanted this to happen. Because I even said to them, there's a lot of stuff we didn't cover today. Is you really harped on certain things like the WWE Champions thing, the $5,000 expenses thing, which I still don't understand because we really didn't fully explain it. We can talk about that tonight. But anyway, you harped on certain things. Then we had Keemstar on for like an hour, right? And it's like, so we kind of derailed. And we didn't really get to a lot of stuff that I think people would have liked to hear me address, okay? Or that I maybe would have liked to address. But after you're going for 5 hours, you forget about what you want to really talk about, correct? So that's where we left it, that it was supposed to be, I was going to do like a part 2. Okay. But another big thing that happened during that interview was that there was essentially an opportunity. All right. An opportunity during the interview where I was told that if I were to send the actual screenshot of my WWE Champions mobile game account, can't even say it, disgusts me so much that this fucking thing is so stupidly important to people. I can't even say the words, that if I sent the screenshot of my actual account over to them, all right, like live, I sent it to Craig, and it could just show that that's not my account that everyone thinks it is, that would be the end-all be-all of it, right? Now, I explained to them, no, I'm not willing to do that right now live, okay? And there's various reasons for that, as I tried to explain. But basically, let me put it this way. Number one, did I trust Craig yesterday? About 98%. All right, I really did. I trusted Craig about 98%. I'm not saying I trusted him 100%. Maybe there's always a chance, right, that this guy's going to try to screw me over somehow, right? But 98% trusted him. It's going to be a gamble, right? The other thing is you got to factor in other things. There's actually been situations where, I've sent things to people who I trusted, and then things that were out of their control happened. I actually this is years ago. You guys don't know this, but there was someone who I had sent something to, and their account got supposedly hacked. Did it really get hacked or not? I don't know. It could have been bullshit. They could have been lying. And then all of a sudden, there you go. Fucking stuff's out there, right? So I'm not saying that anyone was ready to hack Craig's email or anything. I'm just saying, these thoughts are going through my mind. It's not safe. Oh, not 100% safe. Can I really trust this guy? Now, on the flip side of that, all right, as he's asking me to do this, all right, live on the show, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, I know that if I send this to this guy right now, the only person it may convince is him. That's it. That's literally it. And maybe his co-hosts, right? Because they believe him, or they'll say, Craig's not stupid. He'll be able to figure out if this is real or not, or whatever, right? But I don't think that sending that in any way, shape, or form would have actually made my detractors change their minds at all. That wasn't who I went on the show. I didn't go on with the show for the detractors at all. I just wanted to have one focal point where I've answered all of these questions. So now, if you want to hear my answers, go watch that show and leave me alone. I want to do my own thing over here, my own content. I don't want to have to be sitting here every night answering questions about this shit. Okay? I just want to be done with, right? So, in my mind, it's like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to send him stuff. I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it after the show, and I'm going to do it right. I'm going to make sure that there's no way that people can say that I faked this. Because what if I did send it to Craig, and then all of a sudden, that's photoshopped anyway. If it was ready for that, for me to photoshopped, screen grab or whatever, right? You say that too. You know what I'm saying? So I was going to say, definitive way to prove that what I'm sending him is real. All right? And I'm going to explain that in a moment. All right? So anyway, I didn't send him anything at all. Send him nothing during the show. Let me clarify that. I did not send him anything during the show. When we ended the show, the discussion was, after 5.5 hours of me giving them my time, all right, and fielding every question, even Keemstar, and playing a stupid clip from It's a Gundam that was a waste of everybody's time, and fielding all the nonsense that happened, right? The agreement with Walatwu that went well. You know what I'm saying? And now, let's go ahead and talk about the follow-up or whatever, which we agreed, maybe a month and a half, maybe we'll see. All right? So, after the show ended, I did my 90-minute post-show. I went downstairs and I ate dinner with my wife. All right? So now it's around 6 p.m. And I said, you know what? I think I am going to send him it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to him so he knows I'm not faking. So for you guys might or might not know, because one of the questions that actually came up during the podcast, this is a really interesting one to me. They said to me, Craig said this specifically to me, how can you dispute all this when they say it's tied to your phone number? To which I said, how could it be tied to a phone number? I've never once, ever, on any mobile game I've ever played on my phone, not where once have I ever entered my phone number. It's all tied to your Apple ID or your game account, because Apple has a game account in your phone, right? That's the actual thing that determines your account, because you can have a completely different phone number, but still have the same Apple ID. And therefore, you can still have your same games that transfer between phones and stuff. That's how it works, right? So, I didn't understand the question when they were saying that to me. It didn't make sense, because that doesn't, again, it's bullshit. It's stuff that detractors make up. Oh, it's tied to a phone number. Well, can you fucking prove that? Because games aren't tied to phone numbers. They're not. They're tied to accounts, online accounts. So it doesn't make sense what they say. But again, don't question what they're saying. Question me, right? Anyway, so what I was going to do was I was going to send him my actual, Apple ID and my game account in my phone that lists every game I've ever played on that phone. Literally, actually lists every single game that I've ever played. I'm serious. It was going to have all of that listed. All right. And it was going to prove everything. It was going to prove account, because actually I usually have used the same account in all these games, the same name and everything. You know what I'm saying? I was going to send him the screen grab from WWE Champions, and I was going to actually send him what we had talked about on the show. I was going to send him a screen grab to show it's the same account that I actually use in the new Street Fighter game that just came out. And I actually was going to take another screen grab of an older game that I've played in the past, one that I've never even mentioned. I didn't even mention it on the show. I never mentioned it here. It's a game that I play. So here you go. Here's the same account that I use on all my games. Here it is. It could prove not only is there crossover between all of their games, but also here's the Apple ID it's tied to, and it shows the evidence. And here's the actual game account that's in the phone. I was going to send him literally all of that. Okay? And it was around 6 p.m. that I sat down after dinner with my wife on the couch. I'm about to do this. So I email Craig and I say to him, are you ready for this? Because now you're going to get the full story. You ready for this? Here's what actually happened. I'm tired of the bullshit. This is literally, I'm reading you the email I sent him word for word. Ready? Hey, Craig, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on how the show went. I hope that this is a big benefit for you guys. If so, this might have actually been the only time in history my infamy has actually held something. I know that you'll want to get back to normalcy, but I'm looking forward to hearing from you again about the possible next appearance. Now, what I did here is I shared some thoughts about what my viewers had been saying on my 90-minute decompress stream. Here you go. You ready? My viewers are telling me they think you and Adam were too harsh, but I disagree completely. As I told you on the podcast, you were nothing but fair. There is pretty much a 100% consensus that the Keemstar bit was intrusive, and it gave him free plugs for his own content, and it took away about an hour that could have been more on topic. I didn't mind, but that's the vibe my viewers are sharing with me. It would likely be best for a repeat appearance to just be us to avoid people feeling that it's a surprise or a trick to shock me on the interview. Okay? And now, the key part of this whole message. How often do you actually check this email? Because I'm 50-50 on showing you my champion's account, especially because of what Keemstar said on the show. If you don't know what Keemstar said, it doesn't matter what you send to Craig, it's too late. It's literally what he said. Makes no sense, but that's what he said. He says, I feel nobody would really believe, even if you vouch for me at this point, but I respect you and I'm still considering it, despite the fact I'm incredibly scared that my info will once again leak and hurt me. Word for word, I just read it from my email. There it is. Okay? I sent that again at 6:18 p.m. yesterday. All right. So the show, my show ended at 4. I uploaded. I had dinner with my wife, everything cleaned up, sat down on the couch, and I sent it at 6:18. All right. There you go. Now, you might say, well, why didn't you just send everything? Because number one, again, I'm not 100% trustworthy yet, but I want him to say, hey, I'm going to be right here tonight on the email. So you can send it and I'll look at it. I'll immediately delete it. That way there's no risk. That's what we had said on the podcast. That if I'm going to send him all that information, he would immediately delete it. The moment it comes in, he would check it. Okay, there it is. There's the evidence. Got it. And immediately delete it. And it's safe, right? Because it's gone. So that's what I want to know. That's what I asked him. How often do you check this email? All right. I did not receive a response. Okay. Until today at 5:45 p.m. All right. So we can pretend it like that's where it was at that point. Okay. So I sent him that last night, 6:18 p.m. Zero response yesterday. No response at all at that email address. So, last night, I do a 2-hour level 1 podcast over on DSP Gaming. Of course, people are asking me more questions. At that point, I'm still feeling positive about it. I'm like, hey, it's exactly how I wanted it to go. People kept telling me on the podcast last night that Craig and Adam were unfair to me. I will say this publicly again. I don't think that's the case. I think that was exactly how I expected the interview to go. I thought that's exactly how it was supposed to go. Okay? I didn't think they were going to believe me and be blown away by the fact that I sat on there and I really couldn't show them the definitive evidence. But I emailed Craig and said, I'm going to send you the evidence, basically. Are you monitoring this email? Okay? Read it word for word to you guys, right out of my email. Okay? So anyway, that's where we left it. Alright? Overnight, nothing happens. In the morning, apparently they turn on their show. Now, here's where the bullshit starts. Okay? They had advertised all week long that on Friday we're going to do a decompression stream from the Dark Side Phil interview where we're all going to be playing Mario Kart together. It's going to be the whole show. It's going to be fun gameplay of us kind of messing around and playing Mario Kart to decompress from the drama that likely will have happened Thursday. This was advertised all week long. Is that what they did today on their podcast? And Dark Side Phil Aftermath Side Scroller podcast. Let's see. 2.5 hours long, way longer than their show usually runs. 13,000 views. Gee, I wonder why. So what they had said they were doing all week, what I was under the impression they were doing all week, they decided not to do. Alright, they decided to do something completely and utterly different this morning. Now, I did not watch this show. I went and did my own content this morning. I played Hogwarts Legacy on my stream and I beat it over on DSP Gaming. The playthrough is complete. I'm happy because it was a really long game and now it's done. And so I decided, I'm back to normal, right? I won't even probably be talking to these guys. If Craig comes back at me and responds to the email, right? Then, we'll have a discussion about possibly sending him all the stuff or whatever that he wanted on the show. I'm serious about it, right? So I'm streaming and people are like, Phil, did you just see that podcast they just did? I'm like, no. Again, to my knowledge, it's over. That was the interview. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what are you talking about? No, do you understand? The whole show was dumping on you. Like literally every host came on and essentially said, they didn't believe a word you said. You're a filthy liar. Not that they were like totally saying what a scumbag or anything like that. But essentially, I guess what the theme of the show was that they're all sorry for me because I'm such a person who apparently is really just a sad guy in a bad situation and he's addicted and, he's a liar and it's all bullshit. And essentially it's funny. All right. Because they're doing the show. All right. And apparently, when they're doing the show, every time a super chat comes in, it's literally from one of my detractors. And every super chat is something nasty. And they read it and they all collectively laugh at it. Ha ha ha, that's funny. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Let's laugh at Phil because he's not here. Ha 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 ha. They didn't do that when I was on the show. They waited till I wasn't. That's funny, isn't it? Very funny. Ha ha ha. Right? And they're showing on for 2.5 hours. All right? Now, I got a question for Cray and the Side Scrollers crew. I really do. I have a genuine question. All right? Let's actually ask the question. We all know that my appearance on Side Scrollers is the most popular thing they've ever done. Correct? It even brought in Keemstar. Big ass YouTuber. Alright? Do you think that Keemstar would have ever appeared on the Side Scrollers podcast if I wasn't on there? Right? Okay. So they see, oh my God, this is the biggest thing we've ever done, and we just made an insane amount of money, thousands of dollars from detractors. So what do they decide to do the next day when I'm not there? Which is not the agreement we had. They do the DSP pylon show, where we're just going to sit there and we're going to take a big dump on him. He's not here to actually respond to any of it, right? There's a difference between journalism and online drama for personal gain. It's cause and effect here. They saw the money rolling in on Thursday, and they decided instead of doing our Mario Kart show that was planned that we were supposed to be doing on Friday, instead, who cares about that? We're going to ride this gravy train on. We're going to do the Dump on Dark Side Phil show. And it became a 2.5 hour clown show of them essentially taking in donation after donation after donation from every detractor under the sun to read it, laugh at me, make jokes about me, and then make money on it. Okay? So here's the question I have for Craig and the Side Scrollers crew. If the Dark Side Phil interview on Thursday only had 100 viewers, and if you had made $5 the whole show, would you have done the Dark Side Phil Aftermath show on Friday? I'll love to hear their answer. I'm sure they will. All right? But, you know, like I said, it's cause and effect. The reason that they did the show is because they wanted the money, right? Or else, if there's no profit there, why are they going to do it again? If there's no point, they got to ride that popularity out while they have it. All right? This is literally the same thing that all of my detractors have done for years. Wait a minute, drama sells. Wait a minute, making fun of someone and you know, bringing them down at their own expense is profitable. Oh, well, who cares about morals, right? I mean, even though we promised Phil a completely fair shake on the interview, we didn't promise him we wouldn't destroy him the next day when he's definitely not there and not knowing we're gonna do it, right? It's literally, it's being completely two-faced. It's completely unfair. If you're going to have another entire show about Darkside Phil, you should let Darkside Phil actually respond to your stuff. Not, oh, guess what? We had a whole show, and then after that, the beat-up show. The pummel Darkside Phil show when he's not here. That's not fair at all, okay? Let me give you some comparison here, alright? Yesterday on the podcast, Craig said something to me that actually really, really resonated with me. Okay? He said, you know what, Phil? People who you've wronged in your past, whether or not you really think that saying, you know, you're sorry to them or making amends would ever change or do anything good for them. Correct? Basically, it's still worth it to reach out and do the right thing. Do you want to know what I did last night? I actually DM'd that person in the Street Fighter community who I used to bully. I actually DM'd him on Twitter and I apologized. Now I know he doesn't care. I knew he wouldn't. But I apologized to him because I felt so bad. After Craig saying that to me on the show, I was like, he's right. I should do that. Do you want to know what else I did? I went on, I publicly apologized to Vite USA. Because I felt like, even though I feel like he's unfair to me, it's not fair for me to then be unfair to him, which I do feel like I've been harsh to him recently, with some of the stuff I said and did on my streams. And then, you know, last night someone had told me his daughter is sick. I felt so bad. I was like, dude, the last thing he needs is drama and stress around this time in his life. So I publicly apologized to the guy. And now I'd actually like to have him on the show to just have a civil conversation about stuff in the future. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did when I got off the show. I thought, wow, the stuff that just happened, you know, Craig had some really good advice. I actually liked that. I'm going to go run with that and try to be a better person. They felt the best thing to do with that show was to do a show to shit on me for 2.5 hours and make money on it. That's what they felt was the best thing they could possibly do out of a show like that. Someone giving them 5.5 hours of their time that normally I'd be working and making money. Instead, I'm on their show, you know, giving them insane amounts of views and popularity. You're getting Keemstar to show up on the show, giving them a giant boost, making what? People, I actually heard the number, and I can't confirm if this is real or not. I heard they made $20,000 yesterday alone in the one show. Now, I've never made $20,000 in one day in my life, and I never will. Apparently, they made it. Why did they make it? Because Darkside Phil was on their show. Okay? So they see that and instead, wow. That was pretty amazing. We'd like to have him on in a part 2. So let's say, okay, that's enough. We'll talk about him later. No, next day it's Darkside Phil part 2 without Darkside Phil. The show continues without me completely unfairly and they make a ton of money on it. Okay? It's completely unfair. It's not integrity. It's just not. There's no integrity there at all. If there was integrity, he said, listen, we had him on the show. He answered the questions. You judge for yourself what you think. All right, maybe we'll do a 10-minute segment where we'll talk about what we thought, and then we move on. We want him back. We'll talk about it when he's back. That way he can defend himself again, or we can have the conversation again. Not, immediately once it's over, okay, then that we beat him up. And again, do I really believe they made $20,000 in a day? No, I don't. Maybe they made a few $1,000. Even then, that's something they never would have made without me on the show. And if you're actually showing, oh, okay, wow, that's nice that Phil did this for us. We're gonna be nice and grateful. We won't beat him up the next day. Well, they did. They did a 2.5 hour beat up Phil show today. Okay. Making more money constantly, right? Laughing. I actually heard, and we might, cause we might react to it live here. They all did the ack laugh together in unison, which I don't do. I've literally never done an aff laugh. It's a detractor meme. You see? Like, that's funny. Oh, something that people say about me all the time that's terrible is funny. Right? Right? Oh, it's hilarious. I don't even know where it comes from. It's just one of those memes, right? So anyway, I hear all this on my stream this morning, and I'm like, oh, first I didn't believe it. I thought people were basically over-exaggerating. I did. I thought people were making shit up, or maybe, what it is, they want to start trouble. And I actually felt, and I defended those guys last night. I said, no, I feel like that interview was 100% fair. I do. I think that yes, was Adam harsh? He was. A lot of people thought he came off very abrasive and like a dick. Alright, while Craig was more neutral and or seeming like a journalist, Adam was kind of being a jerk. I actually didn't feel at the end of the day, I was okay with all of them. I mean that, and I defended them. My audience was telling me the opposite. And I said, no, I think you guys are wrong. I think the day actually was fair. Okay, I did. Alright, so anyway. When everyone's telling me this on my show today, I don't believe it. I'll watch it for myself later or whatever. But over the course of the show, people are progressively getting worse and worse. And I know, Phil, you have to understand, this was really bad. Like, this was 1,000,000% a detractor show. Craig is saying he's going to go on detractor shows now. Really? Craig, the guy who literally said, I'm going to be neutral about this, is going to be a fair interview. Now he's going to appear on detractor show. So not only is it's on their own content, that they're not, it's going to continue. It continues into other people's content as well, right? Right? Okay, this is interesting. So again, all this is happening, right? And I'm just doing my content. I get an email, alright, from a fan. Oh, the fan, I'm not going to reveal the fan's name or anything, okay? But here's what the email I get from a fan today. I want to give you some feedback. I'm watching the Aftermath stream by Craig & Company. It's clear there was never any intention to have you as a normal guest. They're quite open to debating, they believe, the detractors on every single issue possible, to the point they openly belittled and laughed at you all day long today. They openly said to your face that they contacted most of your detractors to get feedback. Every single super chat that mentioned something negative about you, they read out and believed without hesitation. It's clearly difficult to believe this wasn't their initial intention, and they lulled you into some kind of false sense of security over the previous week, giving you the impression they wanted to be neutral. You basically went to a detractor stream with a friendly name, and the Keemstar ambush was just a cherry on top of this. And I not be a big fan of yours. So here you go. This guy's even admitting he's not even a big fan. Even I can't ignore the fact they obviously just want to ride this detractor wave of popularity, and even say they plan to be guests on detractor streams in the future. The hefty donations that they're now getting during their streams show that they were just hoping to get these. Now they're basking on having grilled and exposed you to the world, and they plan to do it again and again and again, as long as you keep allowing it. Honestly, if you really think that they are your friends or even remotely impartial, you're sorely mistaken. You're just a lolcow and a liar to them. They openly have said this now. It's a viper's nest, not a single friendly hand to be found. Be careful if you really plan to appear on their podcast again. They'll go twice as hard. They claim to have only gone through half the questions that they have for you. Okay? They can't wait to eviscerate you again. The only good that you got out of this is that now you've kind of validated that maybe that you, Craig, is now becoming a detractor, even after 10 years of history with the guy. Take this feedback as neutral. There you go. Okay? Alright? That's an email I get during my first stream today. No, I didn't write that. It's from a fan. Well, actually, I guess the person said I'm not even a big fan. Right? So anyway, I hear all this, right? And basically, as I'm reading this, I'm like, dude, I gotta see the stream for myself. I have to now. Like, I have to watch this for myself. I can't believe this what I'm hearing, but why would people be saying this if this was not true? Okay? So I announced during my first stream, the late stream tonight, I said this on Twitter, and I said this on, posted on my channels, my late stream tonight will no longer be gameplay. Instead, I'm gonna watch this. Okay? We're gonna watch this together. And we're going to see, for ourselves, well, here I play now. We're going to see for ourselves if everything that's been said is true. Okay? There you go. So I announced this. So now it's public that I'm doing this. Okay? So I go downstairs, have dinner. My wife is pissed. She's very upset. I say, what's going on? Hopefully nothing's happening bad in the house. She says, oh no, but I saw that you announced that you're going to watch their show from this morning. Did you watch it? I said, no, I haven't seen it yet. He said, oh, I did. She was not happy, and she only watched maybe 10, 15 minutes of it. She said she couldn't even continue. She's like, literally, it's a shooting gallery against you. Like, literally, it's just, they're just 100% reading every super chat. And everyone is a detractor, a known detractor, and they're laughing at you and they're making fun of you the entire show. And I was like, wow, that is shocking to me, again, because I was led to believe these guys were going to be legit, right? And apparently this is not it. This is not what it was supposed to be. I was supposed to just be treated fairly. Now, it's fairly, if you want me to be an objective, right? That means that you're going to listen to answers, but you're not going to do this show after. You're going to, okay, listen, you judge for yourself and maybe you ask for 5-10 minutes on your show. What do you guys think? Here's what we think. Okay, moving on. It's a topic for later. He's going to be on again, right? Great. Okay. Now, that's not where it ends, ladies and gentlemen, because as I said, I was still fully intending that tonight we were going to sit here, we were going to react to this, which we still might do. But there is a new update, ladies and gentlemen. If you remember, I told you that I emailed Craig last night at 6:18 p.m. saying I had a 50-50 thought I wanted to send him all the evidence of my innocence. All I needed to know is how often he checked his email. I'd be sure if I'm going to send this to him, he's going to check it, he's going to see the evidence, and delete it right away. Right? And by the way, I already said, I know probably this won't change public opinion, but at least then you'll believe me. Right? He emails me back. Are you ready for this one? Are you ready for this? I don't think I was ready for this one when I read it. You ready for this? Here's a response I got at 5:45 p.m. today, 2 hours ago. I think the show went okay yesterday. We talked about it at linked on today's show as a debrief. That's what he called it, a debrief. You shitting on me for 2.5 hours is a debrief. Interesting. My debrief was saying, you guys did a great job interviewing me and defending you for 2 hours against my fans. That was my debrief. And then also apologizing to someone who I harmed in my past and apologizing publicly to Review Take USA. That was my debrief from the show. Your debrief was a 2.5 hour Destroy Darkside Phil show and made money on. Okay, let's continue. I think we all left the interview mentally exhausted and feeling incredibly frustrated. At the end of the day, we want what's best for you. The things that are laid out about everything, the WWE mobile game, the bank stuff, it doesn't make sense. There's too much evidence saying it's yours, and your only evidence is you saying it's not. I'm going to address that in a second. I feel like we gave you multiple opportunities to turn this around, but you seem so dug in. Even in the face of insanely detailed evidence, you wouldn't take it. You with Keemstar coming on, I tried to lay out similarities you feel towards him and the way people feel about you based on things they've seen online, and it was tough. That's not even a point. It has nothing to do with anything. Having Keemstar in the show, it has nothing to do with any point at all. Honestly, I'm disappointed. Like I said, we want what's best for you. We very much do. You have to help yourself. When you're ready to take that step, I'll gladly help you on your journey you deserve to get to level 2. I know you can do it. What does this sound like to you? Does that sound like a neutral party? That email proves that he went into it with 100% preconceived notions of what the truth was, based on talking to detractors for 2 weeks. Right? I will give you full disclosure. I will give you absolutely full disclosure here because I want to be fair. After about a week of him directly talking to the detractors only, he emailed me once and he said, what would you like to see? Or excuse me, let's try that again. I misspoke. What would you like me to see? Right? He says, what would you like me to see before your interview? And I sent him my react to my Down the Rabbit Hole video, right, from last year, which really covers my days as Street Fighter, my early days as YouTuber, all the way to 2017, covers it all. And I reacted to all of it. And I essentially said, listen, I'm sorry for a lot of the wrong things I did. I admit that they were wrong. Here's some real bad misconceptions about a lot of them. Okay? So I sent him that video because I wanted to basically give him an idea of how there's been a ridiculous amount of misconceptions about me on the internet. And when I address them fairly, you see how they kind of, at least make sense. Not to say that I'm infallible. I'm having a lot of mistakes, but at the same time, I'm changing for the better, which they laughed at during the show yesterday, by the way. Oh, change, you're changing. Yeah. It's called human evolution. Do you not understand that someone today is not someone last year, is not someone 5 years ago, is not someone 10 years ago? It's a constant struggle to improve yourself. And when you make a mistake, you made the mistake and you move on for the better. If you keep making the same mistake a million times, that's a different thing. They laughed at me when I actually admitted it. Adam was laughing about change and everything. Ha ha ha. Right? So anyway. This email, essentially what this email says to me. All right, now keep in mind the last email I had to him was, man, I'm glad you guys made a lot of money. And I would like to actually send you the evidence of my innocence, but I need to know how often you check the email. Because, I want to be sure that you're going to get it and delete it right away. Did you hear a response to that anywhere in his email? Did he even mention it? No. Do you want to know why? Because he already believes that I'm guilty. He went into the interview believing I was guilty. 100%. He had a preconceived, he talked to detractors for 2 weeks. Some of them who he likes, because I hate to tell you this, I really feel like he loves, he absolutely loves, like, It's a Gundam. Right? He loves It's a Gundam. He laughs at It's a Gundam. He thinks it's funny. He kept mentioning It's a Gundam. All right? On his shows over the past couple of weeks, that It's a Gundam is a troll of dark side Phil. So it's obvious he watches his content and shit, right? He loves this guy. Now, why do you think that of all the detractors, what's the first clip that they played in the interview and then he ran out of time? It's a Gundam. He's a fanboy of him, right? So anyway, he's been talking with these guys for weeks and weeks and weeks. And all he's listened to is that. I got an honest question. For Craig and the side scrollers. How many of my fans have you talked to? How many people who actually watch my content on a daily basis? How many people who like my content? Who would actually tell you why they tune into my content? Wouldn't it have been fascinating to talk to someone and say, hey, why do you like Phil despite all the hate against him? Why? Do you believe the hate? What do you think? Right? Did they do any of that? No, they talk to every detractor. They literally talk to the people who benefit the absolute 100% most from me being the villain. And that's all they talked to. Right? There was no evidence they ever went out and actually gave me a fair shake. At all. It was just detractor. Because all the detractor questions we have to ask Phil and then say, hey, Phil, what would you like to watch? What would you like us to watch? Watch the Down the Ravel. That's it. That's not a fair take. That you have 99% information from over here, 1% information from over here. Ask me questions. I told you I can't show you the stuff, right? I'm not going to show you my bank statements or whatever. And a lot of the questions they asked me, I'm going to be honest, were completely unprofessional because they weren't prepared for the questions. Can I give you an example here? When they're on a show and you say, Phil, tell us about the $5,000 of business expenses a month. What $5,000 of business expenses? Well, the ones that everyone knows about. What are you talking about? I want to know are you talking about from my bankruptcy? Yeah, is that what it is? He's like, turn to Adam, is that what it is? Yeah, it's from I need to know. What are you talking about? Right? And ultimately, they couldn't even answer the question. Yes, it's from the bankruptcy. Well, from what in the bankruptcy? Is this something that's listed from my tax return? Is this something that's listed on a generic form that was filled out, that was read off by the judge during the bankruptcy hearing? I don't even know what you're talking about. How can I answer a question? I've heard that thrown around a million times. $5,000 a month of business expenses. I don't know. I never saw that. I don't even know what you're talking about. When I went into a bankruptcy proceeding, I went in. Okay. And what did I do? I gave them all the information they needed. My bankruptcy attorney filled it all out properly with all the data. We went in, it was presented to the bankruptcy people, right? Yes, that was, I guess, a public-facing form that was presented. And apparently somewhere in there, I've heard one of the detractors say it says something about $5,000 in business expenses. Ladies and gentlemen, never ever have I spent $5,000 on just video games in 1 month. That's insane. I don't know where that number comes from. I'm not a bankruptcy attorney. I'm not a tax attorney. I'm not a judge who stamped my bankruptcy. That's not my job to know that, where that number came from. No, I don't have $5,000 in business expenses every month. I don't know. Okay? What I can tell you is it was 100% kosher according to the bankruptcy judge. Because again, because the trolls were harassing everyone involved with that bankruptcy so badly, I had to go in and I had to do, just listen to this, hours and hours and hours of work explaining away all the transactions that I did related to my business, not even related to I was explaining everything so they would understand all of it. This is not something they have to do with anyone else, but because too many people were basically contacting the bankruptcy judge and saying, Phil's a liar, Phil's a fraud, all this. I had to go through all this. It was insanely stressful. It was one of the most complicated bankruptcies probably they've ever done. All right. Certainly was the only one where someone ever called in and impersonated one of my debtors. All right. Certainly. Okay. But the point is, me in the interview, the question is, explain the $5,000. Okay, what $5,000? They never even got around to explaining what they meant. So I try to say, I don't know. Is it maybe the mortgage? Is it, cause I don't know, cause my house is also where I work out of. Is it medical expenses? I don't know. Why would you ask me this question? That's a stupid question to ask someone in an interview. Like, I'm going to have the answers to this question, but to them, that's a valid question. So I answered it, right? And some of the other, again, the bank statement. The thing is with these bank statements, all right? I talked about it today on my show earlier. I'll talk about it again. You can say there's all this circumstantial evidence that says it's yours. Correct. And you can also say there's circumstantial evidence that's not mine. Like the fact that there's all these transactions that are crazy big transactions for pets when I have one cat. One freaking cat. Not 10, not 20, not 100 dogs. I have one cat. How am I spending like $100 a week on pet supplies? What am I buying him? Golden pet fucking cat food. Like, what are you talking about? Right? That's just as circumstantial to prove my innocence as the things that prove my guilt. I already said it, and again, I explained it to them, and they didn't understand what I was saying. When it comes to those mobile, apparently, not even mobile, it was iTunes transactions, right? They're saying, here's a bank account, right? And in that bank account, it's showing that there's these transactions coming out of iTunes. And I'm like, okay. And, right? Like, the accusations against me from my detractors are that every day I make a bunch of money on my streams. People tip me. And that money goes into my PayPal account. And then immediately I go and I spend it all on mobile games. Well, if I did that, it would be coming out of my PayPal account, not out of my bank account. Why would I be doing transactions on money I made today on stream coming out of my bank account? My money doesn't go there. Think about how dumb it would be if I'm making all this money to go into my PayPal. Then I transfer the money from my PayPal to the bank account, right? And then I take the money out of the bank account. I'm losing money. When you transfer money from your PayPal to a bank account, there's all these fees involved. Why would I even do that? If that were, it doesn't make any sense. What they're saying, it logically makes no sense. But again, everything that they say that's circumstantial, correct? Circumstantial, right? Can also be countered circumstantially, because the truth is, when Craig wrote this email and he says we have all this evidence, there's no evidence. There is circumstantial evidence. There is no evidence without a shadow of a doubt of anything these people have said about me whatsoever. None. It doesn't exist. It's not provable, because it's not true. So here's the thing, and here's where sadly this entire thing falls apart. All right? When they interviewed me yesterday, they were interviewing me from the perspective of I'm already guilty. They already believe it. And all they want to do is hit me with the question where I'm finally either going to reveal something that I didn't intend to and show that I'm guilty, or else I'm just going to confess. Adam was even saying it multiple times during the show to Craig. He says, Craig, it sounds like you're trying to get him to confess. And that's actually not right. Because he was. He wanted me to confuse. You could tell from where the interview was going by the end. Did you notice? Did you really notice that during the interview, they were only harping on the 100% questions, right? That could not essentially really be like debunked without exposing myself. Correct? There's easily debunkable questions that could have been asked. None of those were asked. It was all the ones that the detractors have harped on, because all they've done is talk to my detractors for 2 weeks. That was not a fair and balanced interview. That was well researched. That was an interview that was all the tough questions right up front. Then get Keemstar in here, which tell me what that did. Did absolutely nothing except gave them a popularity boost to have a big YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? All this is just bullshit. You have it up to a certain level. It's like, I gave them the benefit of the doubt that this was them being objective. They were not. By the time I got on their interview yesterday, they were 100% sold that I was guilty. And this was a phishing interview. Try to get me with a gotcha thing. Or, got him right there. There's the evidence. Now you're guilty. Now he'll admit it publicly on our show and we'll blow up. Or, to just get me to admit that I was doing it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, alright? Listen to me. It's not true. And I'm not going to admit something that's not true. There's a lot of things that I've done wrong in my life. A lot. I'm not going to admit things I haven't done. It doesn't matter how much circumstantial evidence there is. This would never, ever, ever fly anywhere legally at all, because it's all bullshit. It's all circumstantial nonsense, okay? This email I got from Craig, literally word for word, is saying, I never trusted you. Okay? And that's why. It says, does he even say, oh yeah, send me the evidence? Doesn't want it. He doesn't want the evidence. He doesn't want what would have actually proven, right? That's absolutely ridiculous. That he's supposed to be a neutral party. And he just doesn't care. He doesn't want the evidence, Instead, I believe everything the detractors just said, sorry. So anyway, I actually did respond to him. And my response was, well, I'm broadcasting tonight on DSP Reacts. I'm directly reacting to this. Watch if you like. I figured at least want to know what I have to say about it. And he says, okay, buddy, hope it's wildly successful. And I said, I appreciate that, but I just rather be playing games or chilling with my audience than wasting time on this. But now my hands are tied. I gotta do something, right? I have to address it. But he says, oh, just play games then. As Adam said yesterday, you do you and fuck everyone else. Good luck. Yes, because you would like that. Because you would actually like for me to not say anything and just take the punches, and you completely benefit out of this whole thing. That's what you would like. You'd like everyone to think, right, that you were the big innocent guy. You did the great job, the pat on the back, right? No, you didn't. You went into it in the completely wrong fashion. You listened to the wrong people for 2 weeks, and I answered every question, gave you 5.5 hours of my time. Who else would have done a 5.5 hour interview for you with your little podcast? And I'm not insulting it because I'm small too. But who in their right mind would have done a 5.5 hour interview for you? And you went into it completely in the wrong manner. I thought I was being interviewed fairly. But your actions directly today on your show and in this email prove you never did. You never had an intention of giving me a fair shake. A professional would have said the interview's done. Maybe we do a 5-10 minute decompress session today about it. We move on. We do our Mario Kart, whatever. Maybe we'll have Phil back in the future for more. Keep riding the money gravy train that we just got from all the detractors. That's literally what he's done. That's disgusting. What was I talking about yesterday? I was talking about something I like to call on the internet. It's called a misery broker. It's someone who literally, when someone has a bad day, they have a good day. They make money off of talking about other people's misery. You have literally turned the Side Scrollers podcast, which used to be the show that was supposed to be the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on planet Earth, and you turned it into the Dark Side Phil shit show where you profit from my misery. You failed. You destroyed your own show. Wow. Amazing. Because right now what you've got temporary popularity. Based on the negativity being thrown towards me. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy it. You're making a lot of money, that's for sure. Congratulations, right? I certainly haven't seen any benefit like that from this, nor was that my intention. But it sure seems that way when you're doing an entire show today and you're still rolling into the gravy train, right? So, hey, you be you. And again, with the hilarious stab here, we want to get you to level 2. You want to get me to level 2. You want me to be like you? You want me to stoop to your level. So you want me to have someone on a show, interview them, and the next day do an entire show shitting on them for profit. That's what you want me to do. You want me to be like you? I will never be like you. That's not me. I've never done that and I never will. I don't make that shit, right? I don't. I'm not, I'm not Keemstar. Again, why was Keemstar on the show yesterday? Pretty obvious, right? You wish you could be him. Why the hell does he think he's on the show? That guy is fucking reprehensible. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows the guy has hurt far more people than he's ever helped. And any moment that he pretends like he's doing something to help someone, look how he's doing. Oh, I'm helping Wings and Boogie by paying them money to beat each other up in a boxing match. That's insane. You're out of your mind, right? And you want to be like that. That's who you want to be. You're telling me that's how you need to be successful. That's how the internet works. No. That's how this low level of internet works. And the thing is, there's a monstrous amount of people who are successful doing really immoral, underhanded things on the internet. Okay? Tons. And what you essentially are telling me is that's what you think I should be, and that's what you sure as hell want to be. Well, go ahead and you can be that. Leave me the fuck out of it. I want nothing to do with being that. I never do. I just want to play games, talk to my audience, have a good time, and have nice, chill, meaningful, good time. I said yesterday, meaningful content for my, what does that mean? Well, when people tell me that when they came to my show, they actually felt relaxed, they had a good time that day, they had a bad time, they come watch my content, they had a conversation with me, and to them that didn't even click that I said that. Meaningful content. Yeah, meaningful. I didn't shit on someone for 4 hours and make them look like a villain on the internet, and I made a bunch of money doing it, cause I don't care about hurting people, like apparently you did today. What else can I say? It's a vile business being on YouTube. And what's hilarious is something that Adam kept saying yesterday, right? Something that Adam kept saying yesterday that was very, 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 very interesting. He kept saying, dude, it's the internet. It's not real. It's the internet. It's not real. It's the internet. No. For some people, the internet is their life. The internet is my life, dude. Like, this is my job, 6 days a week, full time in this office. This is it. This is, how I make my living. You think it's all jokes because you don't make your living on the internet. I do. That's, no, it should not be allowed. Maybe the internet is bad. Oh, that's just how the internet is. No, the internet shouldn't be like that. The internet shouldn't be people just shitting on each other for profit. How do you not understand that we can aspire to be better? That we can aspire for something good or something better than what we have? The shit show. We don't want an endless shit show on the internet, right? I went on your show and I decided I'm going to actually grow and reach out and do things. You decided to shit on me for a whole show afterward. Like, you see the discrepancy there, the difference. I grew. You went the opposite direction for profits. But it's fine, because I can't make anyone be a better person. I can't make anyone, have a moral compass. Sorry, I can't. Alright? The whole funny part, and I'll end it like this, and then if you want, we'll do some reacting to actually the show here. Did anyone on that show go into it with an actual thought in their mind that I was innocent? That's the question. Because if they did, I feel like it would have went a lot differently. I do. I feel like if you actually went into it saying, hey, Phil was innocent or could be innocent, right? Then it would have been fine. That never happened. That wasn't the intention. You could tell that. You could tell that because I already had said I wasn't going to say much or anything new, right? At all. I wasn't. It was just going to be stuff that I've already talked about and reiterated because I don't have anything new to say because I'm innocent, but I can't expose myself. And then when I finally tell them, all right, I'll do it. I'm thinking of doing it. Oh, I don't want it anymore. Oh, okay. So you didn't care that to begin with. I mean, let's be honest. You didn't care to begin with or else you would, there was no integrity there. All right. There was no integrity. Huskers fan, you're already banned from DSP Gaming. Now you're banned from here. Congratulations. Real winner today. All right. Anyway. So, I think now it is time we'll do a little bit of reacting. I'm not going to do this all night. We'll skim through because their show's long as shit. Their show's like, an hour and a half. Excuse me, 2.5 hours. I don't have 2.5 hours. I got like an hour. So we'll skim through it. We'll watch a little bit of it, react a little bit to it. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of nonsense. I have a few tips to take a look at. They're probably all troll tips. Let's see. Yep, there's one. Here we go. There's another. Yep. Alright, this one might not be a troll tip. So Alex tipped me $5. He says it took balls for you to go on that podcast and answer their questions, even stayed on when Keem came on. He says, what Craig and everyone did today is scummy and underhanded. It shows they can't be trusted. I would recommend staying away from them, but it's your call. Thank you, Alex, for the tip. I appreciate that. There's a couple other tips that came in, but again, they might be trolls. Let me take a look quick. Yep, there you go. And just saying, all right? Just tipped me $1 and says, yeah, we were all saying yesterday, kind of felt like it was kind of a backstabbing or not fair. I don't think the interview was, because they made it seem like it was neutral, but now we know it's not. I mean, it's proven. I have evidence. There's Reddit. They saying, no, I never believed you. Like, literally says that in the interview. There's so much evidence. Well, you saw the evidence, which it's not. It's circumstantial evidence. It's not factual proof. It's circumstantial evidence. You saw the evidence before the interview, so you already were convinced. You didn't see evidence after the interview. You saw it before. So you've already been convinced and you had no intention of actually believing me. It's scummy. Wow, that's a huge super chat from Sarah. So I'm actually a long-time detractor, but their treatment of you has left me sick in my stomach. To use your trust, backstab you, use you for profit, and they'll keep milking DSP drama for money now while pretending that they wanted to help. Yeah, just like King. King just wants to help everyone. Yeah, he really wants to help everyone by basically embarrassing them and making them look the worst possible way, but he pays them to do it. Like, that's okay, right? No, it's not. Absolutely not. Okay. Anyway. I guess we'll do a little bit of reacting. Like I said, got an hour here, and we'll do what we can. Here we go. So we're gonna skip the intro. I'll fast forward like a couple minutes, so they probably do an intro here, right? It's like nothing. That's not good. Why do I not hear anything? Hold on.
Besides, scrollers on YouTube.
You guys hear anything? Oh, there it is.
Me, stuttering.
It was muted for some reason. Okay, let's fast forward. Yeah, everyone on the show, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. So talk about the guests tonight. Here we go.
Base F Monday guys, and, Darth Call, Quarter Black Garrett, Flawedzilla, Andreas.
All right, so nothing to do with anything.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the
Well, I'm covering Adam's face in it, so I can do about that.
TJ Gamebox says side scrollers have open DMs with me and for any support. Well, I appreciate that, TJ, and I'm sure we'll be in touch very soon for sure. Jason came in as a member for 5 months. Says, also, if you're on the Patreon, make sure to fill out the survey for the Side Scrollers feud.
All right, so let's skip ahead. Well, let's see what this one says.
Thanks again for the interview yesterday. Definitely a new fan in me. Let's go. Rise.
Oh, Rise FM. Yeah, he's a troll hat. I recognize the name.
One day at a time, baby. One day at a time. And Joe came in. Says, props to you guys, Adam and Craig, for the interview yesterday. You guys.
Toxic Crusaders, JMR, exclude your that. Says forward. Here's a giant one.
Evan, what's up, dog?
Says,
no, this is legit. Okay, that seems jealous. He's a normal fan. Let's actually, they're still not talking about me, so let's get to the actual part.
Side scrollers needs that.
Oh, here he goes.
They really do.
Dark Seed to float.
The electric bill, the internet bill. All true.
He's not wrong. Not
wrong at all. Not wrong. Look at this. Anatard, Lord of Derps. Says Adam should change his name to Giga Chad.
Because.
Okay.
For a
highbrow sound. Here we go. This is
great job with the East Coast Italian style interview with the robust style questions and Keemstar style appearance. Thanks
shout out to Keem for jumping on, and honestly,
shout out to Keem for jumping on in the interview. He had absolutely nothing to do with and derailing it completely because he added nothing to it. But then he promoted his product. Okay, why are they giving a shout out to Keemstar? Because Keemstar got them even more attention. When Keem showed up, all of a sudden even more people jumped on, and they want that notoriety now. They think, because Keemstar was on our show. Keemstar was on the show because of me. Keemstar doesn't know who you are and never would have been on the show if it wasn't me on your show. Shout out to Keemstar. Okay.
Being really respectful. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know when Craig was like, oh, we got a special guest. Is it okay?
If I move my camera down here?
Oh shit! Is it finally going to go sour? Because I felt like the whole time, it was tense. Like it was a tense interview. I wasn't letting off the steam the whole time.
You wanna know what the funny part is? It wasn't tense at all. Like for me, that was a normal day. Like I seriously didn't you hear at the end of the interview? I was like, let's keep going. I was like, let's just keep going. I'm fine. But they were like, nah, we gotta eat and shit. I was like, nah, let's keep going. We didn't answer all the questions that you guys know that people want answered. For me, it was fine. I mean, for them, it was tense, right?
It's just not who I am. But then Keem came on and he said, you know, I'll be respectful in private chat. And like he said, and he was. It was actually really cordial. And, you know, I have some things to say about that. But shout out to Keem for joining. I'll talk about it later.
For sure.
That was the most calm I've ever seen him.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Justin Kimmon says habitual liars will often admit to part of their
Just listen to this.
the whole thing in order to appear honest. Phil was doing that all day.
Yes, because the accusations that get thrown at me by detractors are partially true, and then they take a part of that and turn it into something that's not, and that's how they claim oh, don't you see that the evidence is that this part was true, so the whole statement must be true. No, half of it was true. And then you made up the other half, but somehow now the whole statement's true. That's what they do. That's how the detractors have always made up shit about me. For example, and I know people say, well, this one's already been disproven, of course, but it's a great example. The escort story. Was it true that someone flew in to visit me? Yes. Was it true that we made brownies together? Yes. Was it true? This and that and all that. But then what you do is you take the things that are true and you turn it to the half that's not true. Oh, well, it was an escort that Phil paid for to fly in, which never happened, you see. But that's, again, that gets thrown away. It only goes to the statements that can't be disproven or I can't disprove without exposing myself or my family to risk. And then, oh, well, those are the true ones then. See? Habitual, Phil will admit to someone, I admit to what's actually true. And then I'm going to tell you what part isn't. But again, they went into the interview 100% believing that everything was true. So of course they're going to think that I'm lying constantly, right?
I think that's one of those things that, we were talking about body language before the show.
Body language. People's
body language. And, most of the time when I was talking to the camera and not necessarily looking at the screen itself. So it's different when you talk to somebody in person and you can read how they're looking, how they're interacting, if they're leaning back, if they're leaning forward, read their body language. But it's a lot different when it's online because I'm looking here, whereas I'd have to be looking here if I was looking at Phil the entire time. And if I'm doing that, I'm not, so I'll be interested to kind of take a look to see.
Yeah, what's funny is someone just said you look visibly distressed. You are rocking a bit. I literally rock every single day on my stream because, as you know, I'm uncomfortable if I sit still because of my back injury. This is something, watch every one of my streams that I'm rocking. Everyone even could criticize it before. Can't you sit still, right? Yes. Correct. It's 100% true that this happens all the time. If you make jokes about it, rocking back and forth, that's a meme. Correct? So yeah, but outside of that, it was pretty much normal, except, after you're sitting there for a few hours, and there hasn't been a bathroom break or nothing, and your legs are feeling tense, you're gonna feel like shit, but I still pushed through it. I was ready to go further. Body language. No, body language is a tell. Like, for example, you ask me a tough question, and immediately before I answer the question, I'm like going like this, oh man, because I'm racking my brain for an answer. Did that ever happen? I mean, I don't think it did, but, that would be body language. Not, because he was, possibly moving or whatever. I don't know.
Comes together, and once, as you said, Travis, the body language experts kind of get a hold of everything.
Who? Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. I'll just say, I love watching the body language experts.
The Wandering Travel Vlog says, on a scale of 99% to 100%.
This is nothing. I just skipped this one. That?
Because he's just joking about they don't believe that the account is now mine.
Right.
About himself, like all of his personal expenses that no one cared about, no one talked about, and like talk about his wife's restraining order, which he seemed very apprehensive at first to talk about. Before the show, he didn't want to talk about it, and then he said, he's like, fuck it, I'll talk about this, and then, but like, you're not going to just show your username?
He told me to do it. Wow, what a disingenuous asshole he's being right now. He's being a 100% disingenuous asshole because you guys didn't know what happened before the show. Before the show, we were talking about exactly, what'll be brought up. And they said, what are things that you are off the table or whatever? And I was like, nothing. And they were like, well, we're not going to bring up anything with your wife. And I was like, but why not? People talk shit about my wife. They talk about shit about how we met. They say horrible, horrible things about me and her, all the time. Why not bring it up? And that motherfucker right there said to me, then bring it up. He's like, I said, well, for example, what? I told him the story. He's like, well then, you know what? Bring it up. His exact words were, bring it up because I hate shit like that. I hate to hear shit like that. And the truth should come out then. He said that to me before the show started. So now it's okay to talk about that, but why wouldn't you show something else? You told me to talk about it.
On a mobile app, or not even to the public world, to Craig, in a private email, for him to be like, okay, it's not him, everyone. You know what I mean? Like,
and I already explained in the show why. Because just showing you any screen grab doesn't mean anything. You have to corroborate that it's real. So what I was going to do, because I didn't know he was going to ask me that on the show, I was going to say, okay, if he really wants this, to be serious about it, I'm going to send him not only the screen grab from WWE Champions, I'm going to show that it's the same account I use in other games, all the same name, all with, you know, everything on them. And I was going to show him my Apple ID and the game account all together. Now that's pretty much indisputable proof. If you had all of that and you're looking at it like, okay, it literally lines up. Boom, bada boom, bada boom, bada boom. That's what I was going to show him that I emailed him after the show. That 6:18 p.m. yesterday. That's exactly what I was going to do. I was just waiting for him to respond back. I said, yeah, I'm at the email. Why? You know, you're going to send it? Yeah, I'm going to send it. No, he literally didn't do it. He, at that point, he was already 100% believing I wasn't going to do it, and I was lying. So he doesn't even want to see it.
Really?
I think
that?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It was fucking weird. And then he was saying, like, I'm not addicted to this mobile game, but I was addicted to the previous
that's correct.
version of the game that people claim I'm addicted.
No, not the previous version. That's not even previous version. It's a completely different game. Supercard and Champions are completely different games. Supercard's what else? Card, style games. And this one's, this completely different games. Wrong. Just because it's WWE, it's not the same game. But yeah, so I'm admitting to the actual thing I did wrong, which is where the whole meme came from. The meme of the WWE Champions thing came from the fact that there's documented evidence on the internet. I used to play WWE Supercard. I used to post up about it. Same thing with Dokkan Battle. I used to play it and post up about it. Like on Twitter and shit, I'd post up, look what I just got, look at this poll. So obviously that's 100% documented stuff. Yes, I did it. That's the truth. Of course I would admit to what I did. What are you having to do? What are you, stupid?
And also this other game that I was addicted to, but I had a problem, but I beat that addiction and I'm good now. Like, it's fine. Like, come on, dude. Really?
What do you mean? What about it? What about it? Because people don't ever improve or change. Never. People never actually overcome problems in their life. That's it, apparently. Dude, I used to be 240 pounds. Now I'm just over 200. I overcame that problem in my life. I used to be a raging alcoholic where every night I used to drink myself into a stupor. Right? And then I stopped doing that shit. Like, how are you going to tell me people have changed over time and get better? If you admit your faults from the past and you overcome them, that's something that should be applauded, not criticized or oh, no one can ever improve. This is the same guy who on the show is laughing when I said, well, I'm changing now. I'm trying to be better. Ha 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 ha. No, it's not funny. You're an idiot. People do change for the better.
It's your username.
I think that, I think it shouldn't be lost that we greatly appreciate Phil coming on the show and being so open about things.
And then that should be it. We greatly appreciate it. All right, let's move on.
And on that note, major props for staying the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, I was shocked, and I said this to him. I don't know if we were still live before I dipped out after I said this. I was like, bro, like, props for staying. Like, you got some major balls for like dealing with stern interviewers, because like we
doing easy, which is what I was there for. And the reason I stayed is because I'm telling the truth. Do you think no, really? Okay, now we gotta be real. Hold on one fucking second here. If someone is guilty, why the fuck would they stick around for 5.5 hours? Are you crazy? Why would they even agree to the interview? Why would they do it? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Why? That's what I'd be like. That's why for so long, people said Phil would never do the interview. Right? Never. He would never do it. And I said, fine, eventually I'm gonna fucking do it, because I had enough of this shit. I had people saying this about me constantly. I'm gonna do it. So it's for 5.5 hours. Oh, just guilty. Like, what? What do you think I was there for? Why do you think I could take it? Why do you think I can take it for so long?
Clearly had issues with, and to have it, he didn't come in here thinking like, all right, I'm gonna have to deal with talking to Keemstar as well,
Yeah, because that was a waste of everyone's time.
And then the freaking Gundam clip, and he stayed, and it's like, you know what? All right, dude can take some punches. So,
yeah, out of you guys, did all of you think he would leave early or leave at some point? Because I did.
No.
Whoa.
Phil is an interesting dude, right? He's an interesting dude in that he's been dealing with this for a long time. You know, like we dealt with
10 fucking years.
The overwhelming swarm of insanity in 2 weeks, and he's been dealing with it for a decade. And
well, that's because all of you didn't believe that we were going to be freaking do a good interview. But I'm not upset because a lot of you have apologized and said we were wrong.
That's big too. Apologizing is big.
Yes, a lot of.
So, okay, let's go. Because that's
you can objectively look and see the detractors aren't the monsters that.
They're not the monsters, really.
Well, thank you so much.
Some of them are.
Okay, that was fair.
I was asked about it last night. And
that was fair.
They said, well, I would say in any fandom, there are people who can look at things logically, and those who take things to the next level, right? In any fandom, whether that's you're talking about Phil, Marvel, or the Dallas Mavericks, right? Like there are people who can look at things logically, and then there's some people who just take it a step too far. There's going to be people in our community that do that. There's going to be people in every community.
All right, Sal, this is boring. That's fucking boring.
You weren't letting him slide either, and I don't think you're getting enough credit for the work that you put in for that interview. So I think our combination of you being prepared with really good questions and me just like soaking in what was happening and just, calling it as I see it,
You knew just enough. You knew just enough to where you could say like, well, that's not right. And I knew way too much.
There you go. I knew way too much. No, you didn't know. Craig, you didn't know. You were told things that were supposed to be considered circumstantial evidence. You were supposed to formulate an opinion. You didn't know anything. All you knew was what people had said about me. Now, you have evidence, just what they said about me and all their circumstantial bullshit. You didn't know anything. That's the problem. He went in to this interview. I know everything. So now we're going to ask, and hopefully we get the confession. Instead of, I'm going in, here's what I've heard from this side. I actually did research on this side, and now we're going to meet in the middle, and we're going to have the interview. It was 1,000,000%. I listened only to the detractor side, and then asked me about one documentary, and that was it. That's completely different, right? Completely different.
To me, it seemed like Craig had the substance and Adam had the style of the interview, and that's just, you know what I mean? And not that you didn't have any substance either, but that's the way it
Craig, you have no style.
Or that you don't have any style.
Can you?
Did yesterday. Absolutely. The Pounder says, does it cost $5,000 a month for each?
See, here we go. It doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
It does not. No.
It's like... No. That's a
simple no.
Simple no. It costs time after the initial investment of getting your webcam.
All right. On to the next.
That's a long bike ride.
Dark side fail. Yeah, did you go on a 5-hour bike ride? That's insane.
He's like, I don't want this bike ride to end because I still got more to listen to.
You're listening to on a bike?
It's gonna be good.
Okay.
Gamer 2.
So here we go. I've tossed it on my own streams. I've banned anyone who brings evidence that contradicts his narrative. He lied about literally everything yesterday. There you go. Look at all that. Look at all that corroborating evidence of that statement. But they're going to keep reading it, right? Affiliate. Anything that's associated with money, they're going to read.
Toxic on his own show.
Yeah.
Anything. Who brings evidence that contradicts the narrative. He lied about literally everything yesterday.
You don't have to tell me, Gamer.
Sophie says, thank you.
What is this? Phil looks like he's going through puberty backwards and sweating like nut. I didn't sweat once. I literally didn't sweat at all. Did you ever even see me wipe my forehead? There was zero sweating, and I don't even know what that means. But you see, they're reading everything. Just read everything so that we can make fun of Phil. This is literally the Phil shit show.
Good job, Craig and Adam.
Shit on Phil the entire show.
He was going through puberty backwards.
I wasn't sweating.
Oh, frankly, it was nice and cool yesterday.
Today, it was hot. And it's off.
But yesterday I was sweating and I was in here for
5.5 hours, right? What are you talking about?
Never know.
Allman John says, Is it technically the third time Side Scroller Show has been brought back to life?
Yes, it was. Okay.
Well, I think that if I was to change the intro, people would riot. But yeah, it's very similar to it, and that's mainly in this.
What are you talking about?
Something news industry would want from you.
That's a good point. He's got a good point. That's true.
The problem is it's too long. Like, we could sit here and react to the whole show, but it's way too long. I'm not going to stay around for all night. I have to skip a lot. There's not a lot going on here. Right?
Breaking news.
I'm pretty sure Yellow Flash is booked. I need to look at the chat, but I know we were talking, so let me triple check. Hold on.
Mr. Knox, how you doing? Mr. Knox says, was DSP stupid or desperate for any form of clout to be a part of the interview?
You tell me, what clout did I get out of the interview? Zero clout. What benefit did I get? Did I make a lot of money? No, they didn't pay me any of that money that they made. Did I get any positive press from the interview? No. Not at all, right? Nothing at all. It was supposed to be me being a guest on their show. It wasn't supposed to be an interview to begin with. I was doing them a favor, right? A favor. Aha.
Interview. Either way, this is freaking gold. Yeah, that, I don't know. I think that he likes our show. He said he watches our show, and we have a lot of fun on this show. And I think he desperately wants to be relevant and desperately wants to be successful, and just does not know how to do it properly.
Despite the fact that I literally said on the show, I have no aspirations to be a big YouTuber. I have no aspirations to be successful. All I want to do is put out content for my audience and make a living doing it. Meaningful content for a small group is what I want. That's what I actually like more. I literally said this on the show, and he thinks the opposite. Well, maybe if you would take that fucking hat off and take the cotton out of your ears, you'd hear what I actually said in your own interview.
In this world. And I mean, you got, if you've done the amount of shit that he's done without being honest and holding yourself accountable, he's never going to be able to shed that stigma that he.
How was I never honest or held myself accountable? Did you not see me react to my own Down the Rabbit Hole, react to the John Rambo and Howard video from last year, and literally fess up to so many mistakes that I have made? Right? Like, what are you talking of? You're talking about, like, here's what he's talking about. WWE champions. Like, literally, that's what he's talking about. That's it. It's like they took one issue out of the entire history of everything. They took one fucking thing. Right? They took one joke from a stream last summer. It's a joke that's completely out of context to my normal content. I don't usually joke like that. It was a joke that was misinterpreted by a lot of negative people, people being negatively saying it was a racist joke. Wasn't intended that way. It's still a dark joke. It's definitely still too dark. It's not in my normal style. Well, that's him for every stream then. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? Right? What are you speaking? Like, what? None of what they're saying makes sense. It's like they weren't paying any attention.
It's impossible. Right now, unless he owns up to it, it'll never happen.
Own up to what? To the one thing? You're literally harping on one fucking thing. You ignored everything else.
Because everyone will always hold that against him. And, you know, he just wants to, like, pretend like all of it, oh no, it's all in my past. Like, let me just start fresh. And it's never going to happen, dude. You
Right.
can't start fresh because the internet is forever. And all your shit's on the internet.
Yeah, but so because people have done things in the past that are bad, you can never forgive them and never believe that they ever got better. That's what he's saying. Wow, you're an awesome person, Adam. Like, really? Let me make sure to not look at your past and find anything you've ever done, man. Holy shit. No one drudge up his past, right? Like, what are you talking about? You're not supposed to fucking ever improve and be better from your past, according to this guy. You can never, ever, like, wow, that's interesting.
Own your shit. It's just going to keep piling on you.
Right.
I think
the closest he was going to get would have been after the show.
Yesterday.
Right.
This was
He
the
didn't-
closest he ever had
Right.
to finally resetting, and he chose not to confirm
the
with you,
offer.
Craig, and he chose to fucking talk shit on Keemstar after the show. And it's like, bro, what the...
Because Keemstar's a piece of shit. We said we were going to do it on the show. It doesn't mean shit. Keemstar is a piece of shit. No one likes him. All right? People deal with Keemstar because they want clout or they want money. Right? That's why. I can say whatever I want about him. I talk shit. He talks shit about me too. Way more than I've ever talked shit about him. You're out of your mind. I was supposed to kiss his butt because I was happy. I want nothing to do with the guy. I already said this multiple times. I want absolutely nothing to do with that man at all. Like I said, if I had run a business arrangement with Keemstar, he would literally try to control me for the rest of my life. He would literally like a puppeteer with strings. Like, well, I helped Phil out that one time, so now he's beholden to me for the rest of the life, right? That's the kind of guy he is. He's ultra controlling. Why do you think when he tried to control me with getting me to do this show and I would not play by his rules, right? I would not just do exactly what he wanted. Right? Drop my entire stream to answer the phone for him when I didn't even know it was him. Correct? He's so upset. Cause he wants to be in control of everything at all times. Why in the fuck would I ever want to go be in business with someone like that? Why do they like him so much? Are you stupid? Have you not done any kind of research on this man on the internet? That's factual. And that's the difference. They'll say, oh, Keemstar and Phil are the same. They both get to hate. No! The things Keemstar has done are well publicly documented and they're not circumstantial evidence. He fucking talks shit about mental illness to people like Edico and what happened there. He's falsely accused people on the internet that, and he literally factually proven he's orchestrated events, dramatic events that weren't real to get stuff, popularity for his content. It's factually proven. The stuff you're accusing me of is not factually proven. It's bullshit. Bullshit. There's a difference. Hated for bullshit, hated for facts. It's not rocket science unless you like the guy. You want to kiss his butt because you like riding on the clout that you have having him on your show. Let's be honest here.
Fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, I know we got some more.
Well,
I got more to say.
Just so you know, Flash will be.
The funny part again is that none of this was said when I was there. Do you understand? Why do you say this behind my back? Right? Why is this said where I was there? I was fucking there. If you have things to say to me, say it to my face. Why do until the next day? You know? It doesn't make any sense at all. None. Except we wanted the profit.
On the show April 7th.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
So
My sister's birthday.
All right, nice. It'll
Happy
be
birthday.
in a private Discord. Yeah, that viewer actually came in yesterday and last night when I was talking about this a little bit, and I was actually going to bring them up during the stream, but just didn't have an opportunity. So
Yeah. Craig is aware
missed
of,
it.
and Adam's aware of like 90% of all of this stuff.
I know way
This
too
is
much
nothing.
about Phil. Way too much.
This is just, it's again, they took every super chat, read it out, and just, yes, it's all true, 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 yes, it's all true. That's not professional. I'm not there. I'm not there. You had me on the show.
On streaming, they can't finish it. Like a show that goes like horribly wrong after like 6 seasons, but you have to keep watching because you want to know how it ends.
I think
Maybe
it's more
that's
like
it.
I think it's more like why Jersey
Anyway, no one's watching me because it's like Jersey Shore, you fucking moron. Good lord.
Congrats on that home ownership, dude. Way to go.
sounds smart.
You'd probably watch Jersey Shore. It's probably your favorite show.
Actually, yeah, smart.
Get a good ROI on your house for sure. All right, let's see. I think we got a few more. I'm still, golly.
They're never gonna hang out. This is their whole show. It's just reading negative super chats about me.
Mr. Doctor and
Okay, one actually had nothing to do with me. I can't believe it.
Probably pay taxes on it first before you spend it.
the 1651. That's an inside joke with all Rise FN says Adam.
Now, blah, blah, blah. Let's keep going. Let me just, for the sake of it, let me fast forward a bit. Let's go like 20 minutes forward and let's see what they're talking about. Okay?
Inner peace or whatever, you know.
Right. I 100% agree. 100% agree.
Me too. Yeah, I hope so.
Here we go, Nard Cedar Flow. This is 20 minutes later. It continues, right? 20 minutes later, this is the whole show. The whole show is just about me.
Everyone wants to know, what are the chances you'll appear on That Being Said or other distractor streams? I've told, I've been in talks with That Being Said. I'll definitely appear on their show, 100%. 100%. I just gotta lock down a time. Coming up, I'm going to be on Tuesday Night Main Event on Tuesday coming up as well. So that's
Great
gonna be
show.
Really cool.
Great show.
Talking with Jeremy
Decent
about
gamer.
that.
I don't know what that is. Anyway.
Start fresh if you don't hold your it's impossible to
Here
start
we
fresh
go.
if you don't hold yourself accountable in any way. Congrats for the great work, guys.
I'm going to skip ahead even further. Here we go.
Agile.
Jade, have a good night.
I think that's why he's still sitting at, like the World 1-1. So
Well, and he has such a high view of himself. You know, I said it to him, illusion of grandeur, man. Like you really think that you're this freaking king on this pedestal that everyone needs to worship.
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm a king on a pedestal that needs to be worshipped. We explained what the King of Hate moniker meant, right? We did. We actually went through it on the show. That has nothing to do with anything like that whatsoever, right? I said I'm a small-time guy. I'm a flawed. Everything I said on the show was to explain that I have absolutely no big thoughts or aspirations about myself or my content. But you see, it's a giant king and everyone should kiss his butt. Yes, you're right. That's why I take it every opportunity to always be on top of everything, right? I totally don't. Wow. If you want to talk about people who unprepared, this guy knows absolutely nothing about me whatsoever. Zero besides the hate that's come in. That's what he hears. He knows nothing about me or my content whatsoever.
You had it really well for a long time because there was no competition. You got into
This is correct,
man. Like, good shit. But you didn't continue to evolve with
this is all correct.
Stayed stagnant, like thinking that you were worth people's attention.
Correct. I've talked about all this publicly in the Down the Rabbit Hole and other places. 100% correct. I've admitted to this. And
you weren't.
Correct.
You have to adjust and cater to your audience, and he didn't.
Correct.
His audience slowly grew in the wrong direction by people making fun of him, and instead of owning it and using it like Keen talked about, that's what he does. He's like, I got the most detractors, and I use them. They're my fans. They make me more money because of the hate.
But he makes shit content that's harmful to others. That's how he got over it. He doesn't make gameplay videos, Adam. He doesn't interact with his audience in a nice positive way. He's a jerk. He hurts people to make money. Everything he does is deriding others, making fun of others, bringing others down, and then making money off of it. He's a giant chessboard at what he considers the world of lol cows, right? Or anyone who's having a problem and he moves the pieces around the chessboard and he watches money fly off the chessboard into his pockets. That's how he made his money. How are you okay with that?
Bitter.
And again, what I said is the difference between me and Keen. I've never hurt anyone with my content. Who did I hurt by making a bad Let's Play? Who did I hurt, right? With his stuff? Nothing. This guy's constantly hurting people.
Out on his own audience when they didn't support him anymore. And it was just like, he just got worse and worse and worse. It's just like, bro, it's so obvious, but he can't see it.
What are you talking? What? What? This guy is a fucking dunce. He did nothing. He literally didn't do any research at all. But what are you talking about? I outright admitted it. We've outright talked about it on stream in React events. You fucking tremendous black hole of emptiness in your brain. It's documented. I fucking talked about it. Why is no one countering? No, actually, fair enough. He did say this because no one did the research. No one here did the research. It was just, we only listened to what the detractors said. According to the detractors, he never grew. He never admitted nothing. They only listened to the detractors. What a bunch of fucking idiots.
You got a point. And I think
wow.
was right too. It's one of them things I think if he would have owned up to his mistakes as they happened, as they came along, it would have been way different.
Correct.
But instead, he got to a point where he denied. And it's so much now, it's just a mountain.
Well, it depends. I out of all these people, I think Travis is the most, I hate to say it, the guy who thinks the best about this shit. And he probably, you know what I mean? Like, what he's saying kind of makes sense, except, yes and no, because yeah, he's absolutely right. When I made mistakes and things went wrong, I was always like a peak-headed idiot, and I wouldn't admit that I did anything wrong. That was old Phil. Today, with, you guys call me out on stuff and all the time. So, you're right. Let's change it. You know what I'm saying? Like Travis, I think out of all these people is the voice of reason a lot of the time. Craig is just kind of the host, but he's kind of like the figurehead. But when you listen to all of them talk, Travis has some good takes in my opinion.
He ever let it go? How could he admit? Because he has to admit so much all at once. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous now. It's so much.
I'll say this. I've been doing this longer than Phil, and
that's true.
Certain time.
By the way, guys, there's a lot of tips and things coming in. I'm absolutely going to shout them out before the end of the stream, but just probably about half an hour. So we're not watching this whole show. This is 2.5 hours. It's just ragging on me. I can't watch 2.5 hours of this shit. But I think I'm proving my point here. No, how unfair this was.
Where you need to eat humble pie, where somebody needs to go like, hey, dude, look, Screw Attack was a very big deal in its time.
Correct.
Right, during its time, it was a big deal. We did billions of views on the internet.
Yep.
Right. Like it was insane. But that was then.
Right?
That was long gone.
And whenever do I say today I'm big or I'm popular or I'm you know what? Never at all. It's completely the opposite.
Relevant online. I'm a piece of sand in this giant, vast ocean.
Right.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's important to understand and for to be humbled at a point. And that happened to me. That's happened to me where and I don't think that's happened to.
What are you talking about? Oh my! Again, they watch nothing. They literally watch nothing. They've watched no content of mine. Anything within the last year, they only watch detractor highlights. There's no way they could say shit like this and actually watched my content. It's not possible. It's just not possible. And they're supposed to be objective interviewers. They watched nothing. They did all the negative research and none of the positive. Again, did they ask a certain person, any one person who's a fan of my content, what do you like about Phil? What's the positives about him? Why do you watch him if he has all this hate again? They didn't do that. They fucking just went and watched every detractor. They talked to, it's up Gundam. Yeah, you're really going to get an intelligent discussion out of that guy. I'm sure. Wild. They're literally every word they're saying is wrong. Right now.
And I hope that yesterday was an opportunity for him, but I don't think he's going to take that.
It was an opportunity, but
right,
he's so stubborn that he probably is sitting there thinking that we fucked him over. Like, we totally fucked him.
No, the interview didn't fuck me. This is what fucked me. Right here. This is what fucked me, you idiot. Not the interview. The interview was fine. The interview was exactly as I expected it to go. But the day when you decided, I'm just gonna do a second profitable stream, shitting on the guy that's not there to stick out for himself, that's where you fucked me over.
We were giving you the realest opportunity you have ever had to win back your audience.
Again, how? By saying I did something I didn't do. You came into the interview 100% believing I was guilty. That's not an interview. It's not a legit interview. You fucked up. You told me one thing. I came in with the notion of what you told me. You completely lied to me. You just proved it with that statement. Well, yesterday was, we gave him that opportunity. You can't give someone an opportunity unless you already think they're guilty. You see what I was saying? Like, you fucked up horribly with this interview. You don't understand that now all of your integrity is gone. Anyone who goes on your show, anything for an interview like this, could never trust you ever again. Really. Like, thank God I didn't send them anything. Really. Like, what the fuck? To
actually evolve and level up. But
level up?
Because he's so stubborn.
Dude,
all right. Well, there it is.
What Floor says, it was a train wreck.
Same damn area. Let's skip ahead again. Right? All right, let's try here.
Have you noticed his blabs? And I ordered no-show socks.
No.
Are they finally done? Was that it?
Of his expenses. He doesn't keep track of them. He's got them written down.
I got them all written right here. Trav, you know, the funny thing is there, you know that paper was just blank. It was blank.
Sure.
The paper right here with all my expenses written on it. Right here, motherfucker. Right here. The paper we're writing all over it. Here. Ready? It's literally slapped my fucking desk, you idiot. God, these people, again, you want to talk about disingenuous. They didn't believe a word I said. Here, I just want to make sure that I don't have personal accounts on here. Right? I'm trying to think like I don't want you to see what accounts I have, right? Obviously. Can I show you this paper? No, not really. Right off the bat, there's like 2 accounts that are personal accounts, you guys should know about. Fuck. I wish I could have folded it. Yeah, already Gilgas, because all my utility companies' names are on here and everything. Maybe I had to fold it a certain way. Not that I should have to do this. Right? Here, maybe I do a crazy folding job, right? And this is really stupid. But just to show how dumb they are, okay? I'm literally just going to show you one tiny part. Alright? One tiny part of it. Nah. Not to cut it up, maybe. Again, I'm trying to show you without, again. So, Phil wants to prove what he's saying is true. But even just to show you this paper, have personal shit on it that can expose, you understand what I'm saying now about proving innocence? Like, literally, I'm like, right here. Well, here's utility company. You can't show you the name of the company, right? Here's this. Here's a cow. I can't show you. If you see this, you're gonna fucking, people will do shit. You know? Literally, because I wrote all the names. Instead of putting like garbage removal, I put the name of the company. I can't show you that. So, but this is the fucking paper right here with all of it on it. Haha. But I think you understand the point. Even that. I was gonna read it off one by one. Like it shows website charge and mortgage probably is the only thing on here that I could show you that doesn't have anything on there that you should know about, right? Yeah. Taking a look. Jesus. Because everything else puts me in exposure, right? 2 last days, any earnest person would understand why you can't show it. Like even if I fold it this way, right? Like this. And fucking like this. Right? Like this, it's like origami. I have to fold it 400 times to even show anything that can be shown. Right? Here, I'm gonna try this. Just to show that I'm not full of shit. Right? So, what is that? What is that account? Okay, that's okay, I guess. That's okay. What is that? Hulu. You can see Hulu. Alright. So here we go. Alright. So, I'll pre-read it. It's the website that I have, my website, dspgaming.com, the mortgage payment, my phone bill, which I'm gonna cover, the name of the company, and my, car insurance. Okay? Oh, you can't, oh, there you go. You can't see the writing? Oh my god, you can't see it. The camera won't even adjust. Yeah. Fuck. Well, you can't see it. You saw writing. You see writing. Okay, you can see writing. You see, I'm not full of it. There's fucking writing on the paper right there. The camera won't do it. But there you go. That's literally every month. Paper. My expenses. That I'm gonna read to them. And the point they're making, alright? Here's the point they're making, because we can address it. Alright? I know you can't see shit. I wasn't gonna prove nothing. The point they're making is, they asked, what are $5,000 a month in business expenses? I don't even know where that comes from because I don't know what they're talking about. You understand? Well, I don't get it. I don't even know what they're talking about. Alright? I have no clue what they're speaking of. Because I don't know if that's from the bankruptcy report, if that's a tax return, if that's data that was taken from a tax return and transferred to a bankruptcy report. I don't know what that entails because I don't know what's considered business income one way or another for taxes versus bankruptcy report. I have no clue. I'm not a legal expert on this shit. I would never be able to answer that question for anyone. So instead I said, here's what I can do. I can literally pull out my monthly expenses and read through this. So you guys can know exactly what I spend every month. Would you like to hear it now? Because they wouldn't let me do it. They cut me off. Here's my monthly expenses. Are you ready for this? First of all, there's a reminder on here that at the beginning of every month I should, cash out what I make on Patreon and then send my Patreon private DMs for people who are owed their perks. We got Hulu, Comcast, which is my internet. Everyone knows that. My monthly condo dues, my Game Pass subscription, YouTube Premium. I have a note on here to pay federal taxes every month. My garbage removal, my water bill, my website charges, my mortgage, my phone bill, my car insurance. I still have monthly payments to Amazon for a few things I bought last year, that are almost done. Payments to attorneys. Okay? Medical payments that I'm doing, ongoing every month. My back tax payments that I do every month. My car payment that I do every month. My electric bill. My health insurance. And then I have notes at the bottom of things that are important. And for example, be sure to prepare for your dues next month or whatever. Like that's it. And I have a note at the top. Every, quarterly I have to do business, taxes for the state. Quarterly. I have a note what month that I have to pay those. Okay? Literally that's it. That's what I pay every month. And of course, not on there would be, for example, You know, if I have to buy a specific game, stuff like that, something comes up that I have to spend on. Of course, there's nothing I'm going to put groceries. That's weekly. That's normal stuff. But this is my list of expenses every month, right? So I don't know where the numbers come from. How the fuck would I know? Why am I expected to know that? That information on that bankruptcy report is not supposed to be something, that's supposed to be, public. You know what I mean? No one goes, it's that shit. You know, like I said, that was the most ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous bankruptcy ever. Even the judge admitted it, said, I've never seen anything like this before. This circus that it became, right? But you see what I mean? Like, even something as easy as that, you think, oh, that's easy. That's, you know, it's not a big deal. It is. That's exposure right now. If I showed you the name of companies that I'm paying utility to some piece of shit that could hurt me. They've done it before. Years ago, they called my electric company, tried to turn on my electricity, right? Right in the middle of my work week. Now, that would have been terrible if I didn't have the notification that was going to happen, right? So, Stuttering Craig wrote me an email. That's nice. Haha, Craig. Well, apparently right now you're ripping us to do asshole. What do you think I was going to do? Do you think I was going to be happy what you did today? Your actions are heinous, dude. You literally came at the interview completely unfairly. You didn't approach it objectively. You admitted it in your email to me. All you did was sit and listen to detractors. Then you sat and took money from detractors, and then you sat and took money from detractors again. This is not an interview. This is not professional. This is not what Ed Pressure would want to do. You literally are happy, right? You are happy, very happy that you got this. Don't lie now. Come on. I mean, seriously, dude. You're so excited that this has happened for you, right? Anyway.
Yes.
The paper was blank.
Tickle Bruno came in with the $55.
See? So keep reading the negative stuff because he keeps doing it, right?
He says, goes without saying, great job the interview. You really brought up a good point about DSP's mental health. I think we're dealing with someone that's a few sandwiches short of a picnic. Normal thought process goes from A to B to C. Instead, his process goes from G to hey to blue to hey Macarena. I think he needs to get help first before he tries to fix relationships around him. There's only so much someone can take before it sends them to a dark place. Hopefully, he finds clarity.
If it were true that my mental health was bad, right? Why do you think that is, Cray? Maybe it's because when I have an opportunity, I actually think I'm going to be treated nicely or fairly. I still don't get treated nicely or fairly, right? Again, there was nothing wrong with the interview. If you had left it at that interview and that was the end all be all of it, and that was it, that's it, you right? It would have been done. And it would have been over with. Instead, you did this. This is completely underhanded, dishonest, shooting gallery, attack Phil, take money to shit on him constantly. This is wrong, what you're doing here.
And I think that's probably one of the biggest things from yesterday is I know personally, and I know everybody here wants what's best for him as a human.
So what are you doing? So what's best for me is to sit here for 2.5 hours and take payments from my detractors and literally regurgitate the negative memes about me. This is the best thing for me. This is what's best for you, bro. Let's be honest here. This whole thing was all about you. You reached out for a fun guest on your show. You hit the gold mine with the amount of drama, and you capitalized on it. You've banked on it, right? Or else this would have been Mario Kart, Craig. This was Mario Kart. See the four of you playing Mario Kart right now? Isn't this a great stream that you planned on? No, you literally are capitalizing on the pain of others. 1,000,000%. It's fucked up, dude.
I want Phil to be in a good place. And I think that's the hardest thing about it is how do you say that to somebody? Be like, dude, listen.
All right, enough of the answer. I'm just curious. We go another 20 minutes and they're still doing it. Let's go to this nice big super chat.
Tell you what. I'm literally 45 minutes behind on the super chats. I want to give you, Adam, an opportunity, and we will read all these super chats, all direct donations. We'll read.
Here we go. Adam's gonna go off. This will be hilarious. Hey,
Adam, the opportunity to kind of say what you wanted to say, your overall thoughts about the interview, because you're the one person that we haven't really heard from after yesterday. And I think you're the person people probably want to hear from most.
Please listen to Adam's
I
rant.
don't even know how to start, like, to really give my thoughts on it. I'm almost. That's fine.
No, I did not pre-watch this. I don't know what you're about to say.
I'm going to scroll the super chats on the bottom so they get acknowledged while you're talking, and just know that we see them and we're reading them and we acknowledge them and we thank you. So the floor is yours, though, Adam. So.
Okay, so I've traveled around a lot in the world. I've met a lot of people in my life, a lot of people that use and lie to get ahead. And it feels like that's
why to get ahead
right now. People don't want to work hard for easy living. People want the easy path to easy living.
I've definitely had the easiest path to an easy living, guys. Let me tell you, this has been the easiest, most least bumpy ride. I've had no hurdles and no problems. It's just been easy street all along the way. Right. Hey.
Life is a challenge. You have to work to be successful. The most successful people work their ass off to become successful. And I feel like most of these internet personalities, they try to get the easy path. And a lot of the people that are successful in this world work their ass off. Like, say what you will about Tim Pool, that dude works his fucking ass off and deserves the success that he's made, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what happened between him and I. That's irrelevant. Like, he works his ass off, is very knowledgeable about what he does, and he earned his success.
How does that have to do with me?
Right? Someone like DSP, he just wants that success without any of the hard work.
I want all the success without any of the hard work. I haven't worked hard. I'm one of the most. I won't say I'm the most. I'm one of the most prolific gaming content creators in history. Over 100,000 videos, 15 years of almost every day full-time putting out gameplay videos, set schedules, right? This guy has absolutely, positively no knowledge of me whatsoever. Zero. And they're giving him an avenue to just spout nonsense. He literally knows nothing. Nothing about me. I lost friendships and relationships because I was addicted to work. I was addicted to putting out so many videos in a day. Right? The reason why I actually got the popularity I did early was because I was the guy who was beating games so fast and immediately getting those playthroughs out within 2-3 days. Like, what are you speaking of? You have absolutely no concept of anything. You went into the interview with zero knowledge and you walked out with all the negative association and all you listened to within the bad things about me. What you're saying is factually disproven, but you don't care.
Or he thinks that he's working hard. I work 6 days a week he tried to lay out this whole thing that he works all day and 12 hours. He only gets an hour with his wife. Like, bro, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
You should spend more time with your wife.
You're right.
Spend more time doing other things.
You're right.
And then
I want to.
Yourself right. I turned into a fucking therapist yesterday, and like, I'm not a therapist. I'm just a logical based person that I'm a straight shooter. I call it as I see it. I said it yesterday. My friends call me honest asshole because I'm always honest with them. But they appreciate that with me because I'm going to be honest. Like, if you're doing some shit that I think is stupid, I'm going to call you out on it. I'm going to tell you, like, you're being a fucking idiot. Be smart with your money. Stop.
Again, I had no issue with the interview. The interview was fine. What I got out of that interview, I defended these guys and said I thought the interview was fine. This segment, this whole show is fucked up and wrong.
$1 on a freaking mobile game, $1 is too much. If you can't afford to fucking eat or pay your rent,
no shit,
or pay fucking electricity bills, what the fuck are you wasting money?
I'm not spending $1 on it when I can't pay my bills. What are you talking about? Where's the evidence of that? Right? When did I ever say the question they had asked me was, what did you spend on games this month? I said, like, probably $15. And they said, and I said, it wasn't even on WWE Champions. It was on the new, the Street Fighter game. I'd let those daily $1 or whatever, right? This month I have no money. Like, what are you talking about, right?
You shouldn't spend a cent. So it's like, even that he even admitted that he's spending any amount of money on that shit was too much. It's like, come on, dude. Be smart about your money. It was so clear throughout yesterday that he's a fucking idiot when it comes to spending money. Yeah, I said it, Phil. I'm not.
I don't care.
I'm just being brutally.
I feel what you want on that.
All right, you get what you get when you're talking to me. All right, you came and clearly. Fuck, that was a bad pun too. Jeez. You know what I mean? Like, you came on our show, and things happened, right? So
don't care about what happened on the show.
You're hiding something. And people are making really good points that you're probably scared you're going to get in trouble from going through that bankruptcy. You said yesterday the bankruptcy saved you. Like everything was going to be good from now on. Twitch was paying you well, and these fucking assholes ruined your shit on Twitch because you say racist shit. And it's like, all right, you do. Like, all right.
No, that's not what happened at all. I didn't get banned from Twitch because I say racist shit. I never said racist shit on Twitch. Never happened. They banned me for things that happened a decade ago. Complete out of context. It's like something you did from your past when you were young, you were an immature idiot. And by the way, it was allowed back then. And now you're getting banned from things today for it. Like, what are you talking about? When do I say this stuff constantly? What are you were, this guy has no idea what he's speaking of. None.
Those fucking jokes. But don't be surprised when you get booted off the platform who are very clearly in the woke, man. Twitch is, I don't like Twitch. I don't like they fucked over the partner program. It's not even worth being a partner anymore. And they have the freaking a deer on their freaking head of their, I don't know what the hell it's called. Like who gets to be on? Like I think it's a they. No, it's a deer. It's a deer self. I don't know what the fuck.
Hey, by the way, we have a lot of contributions that we'll be shouting out soon, just so you know, because I can't keep going all night. I just want to hear what he had to say, and he doesn't have much to say. So it's all lack of knowledge, talking out of the ass. Don't you know what I'm talking about? Same shit detractors say, because that's all. Yeah, the knowledge he has is what the detractors told him. He hasn't watched content. He doesn't know anything about me. It's pretty sad, actually.
That shit is crazy. But that's who's working at Twitch now. So what, are you surprised that your whole Twitch career just got flopped because some people called you out for making some racist stuff?
I was on Twitch for 4.5 years. And then it happened. It wasn't like I started on Twitch and I got banned. I was on there for 4.5 years. And I never did a damn thing on there to get banned. And then they removed me from the partner program. How do you know the difference? Do you understand the difference? It was a concerted effort. How is it that it also happened at Twitch and other places all at the same time? I told him this on the show, but they don't listen. God.
Fine. Make some racist jokes. Do it. Be you. Don't fucking try to act like you've changed. Own who you are.
Make racist jokes, you idiot.
Bitch. Fucking be the person you want to be and fucking own it. Find a platform that's going to allow you to be that person. All right? I gave you 2 great ideas for a show, right? This is how you don't game. Use it to your...
Way too old too late for that. That would have worked when the This Is How You Don't Play movement started, a decade ago. That definitely would have worked. But Dan, I admit, 100% I was stupid. I was absolutely dumb and did not capitalize on it like I should have. Instead, I got angry. That is my fault. But again, I've already publicly admitted this. He doesn't know that because he didn't do any research.
Advantage. Own who you are, all right? Put that fucking box of tissues behind you because you did wank on screen, all right? Fucking own it.
I did.
You're never going to catch me fucking pulling my dick out live because I'm not a fucking idiot. All right? You made the mistake.
This is hilarious because this guy done dumb shit. Probably not that bad, but he's probably done some really dumb shit. Like, you gotta really think, like, what are you doing? You're just setting yourself up for a fall, dude. Because everyone who said shit about shit like this, to me, then they get exposed years later. It's not me that does it, but then they get exposed years later. It's way worse. Remember Pro Jared? Remember when he tweeted about me for no good reason? What happened to him? I mean, dude, you can't be fucking saying shit like that. That was just dumb.
Own it. All right? I'm sick of people that are just like, I'm a victim. Yes, being a victim happens.
Well, if I can say, actually, he's already done worse. He was booted off of one of the most popular shows on YouTube to do this show instead. Really? I know nothing about this man. I know absolutely nothing about him. So you're saying he was on a popular YouTube show, he got kicked off, and now he's on this show. But he's gonna laugh at me and make fun of me because I bet I made a stupid mistake, huh?
But you're choosing to remain a victim and using it to milk your subscribers, the people that support you. You know what? I have no respect for people who take advantage of the people who support them. I love my chat.
I love my chat. I love the great conversations that we have every single day. That's why I come to stream every day, to have nice personal conversations with the people who I spend time with all day long, right?
The reason why I'm successful and I'm able to sit in my house and talk about my opinions online.
Me too.
It's not that hard of a job. It's fun. I fucking love it.
Me too.
I get to play video games and people watch me and pay me. Play video games.
Correct.
You get to do the same. You lucky fucking ass.
You're right.
How dare you fucking bitch about it?
Who's bitching about it? I'm not bitching about the content I put out. I'm bitching about all the shit around it that I have nothing to do with. That's what I'm bitching about. All the nonsense that people have made up about me, right? Who's complaining about? I love my job. I love the games I play. I love my audience. What are you speaking of?
All right? I'm sick of it. Stop being a fucking victim.
I'm not a victim. I already said on your show, no one should be contributing to me because they feel bad because people are hating on me. No one. I don't want no pity party on the internet. If you're supporting me, support me because you like my content and you like me. That's it. I don't want people coming and we don't have pity party streams of shit. We don't. So what are you talking about? You're lecturing the wrong person.
Your shit. All right,
You lectured the wrong person. Literally every point you made was wrong. And congratulations, Adam. Adam Goody with the most uninformed rant of the year award. Yes, Adam. Everyone. Applaud this man. Most uninformed man I've ever heard talk about me, actually. Like my detractors intentionally are uninformed and say wrong things. This man just made no effort to be informed whatsoever before he went off. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I don't think I've ever really seen someone as misinformed about me and then actually pretend like they knew what they were talking about. Right? Wow. But again, doing it on the show that I'm not on, so I can't counter it. That's pretty impressively amazing, isn't it?
Get it out. Get it out. I love it. Like, I think that at the end of the day, look, there are common themes on this show, right? Common sense and responsibility. Right? Those have been a common theme from the start. And everything you said rings true with those. Like, we are so freaking lucky to be able to do that.
Right. We all are. Anyone being content on the internet is insanely lucky. I've said this a billion times. The only reason I'm popular is because I started when I did. If I started later, I never would have had absolutely anyone at all who, would have watched me. Lucky, right?
I love my life. I love doing what I do.
This guy sounds just like me, what he's saying, which proves he'd ever watch me if he thinks that we're different. We're literally like kindred spirits in this regard with how much we love what we do. But he just wants to insult me because everyone else says I'm a shithead. It's a good job, Adam.
House. I love my house. And it's all thanks to you guys. Like
this sounds exactly like me, every day.
The globe. I got people all in different countries that are like, man, you're fucking great. Thank you for doing what you do. Shout out from Panama, shout out from Ireland, shout out from fucking wherever. And it's like, this is fucking awesome. Like, I got people all around the globe trying to support me. And it's like, I will never look at them like a dollar sign.
And I don't even do that, right?
And I have zero respect for it. There's many people in this circle that do that. And it's like, man, as soon as you do that, the audience knows.
Mm-hmm. That's why I need to change for the better. I need to stop with the e-begging shit. I know that. I'm trying my best. That's why when I fall back on my old ways and why I have my fans emailing me and shit saying, dude, what are you doing? I appreciate that. And it's happened recently and it really pisses me off. It does. You know what I mean? It really pisses me off that I do it. And I gotta get better at it because I'm in a situation, unlike him, who probably, he's not financially tight. I'm incredibly financially tight because of all the shit I've been through over the years. That's something I absolutely need to get better. I don't see my viewers as dollar signs. I would say, oh, time to turn on that stream and let that dough start rolling. It's like, no, I want to turn on my stream and have fun, play a game, have a conversation, do a fun podcast. That's what I want to do. And then the money comes along with that. But again, this is something I've reiterated a million times in my own content. This guy knows nothing about me. He's lecturing no one. He's literally lecturing the wall at this point, right?
They could sense it when you don't give a shit about them anymore, and then you start guilting them. Like, dude, you can't guilt your audience. They're going to support you if you're worth supporting, okay? And you cease being worthy of their support when you see
who is he ranting
signs instead of people that live fucking lives. That's life. As I said, life is tough. All right, they're choosing to.
No, listen. The rest of it, dude. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He doesn't know me. I mean, it's so bad. Like, you're yelling at someone who agrees with you. It's like you walked into a church and you yelled out, God is great. Yes, Adam. Anyway.
Like many skeptical detractors on Twitter, you guys shut me the F up and got me hat in hand. You guys crushed it. This is a great intro to Side Scrollers and want to see what's Echidna says, DSP said he promised his wife he would quit mobile games, admitted he sank money into WWE, might cause a lot more trouble than just embarrassment.
Well, that would actually make sense as why he can't let his username get out, because he said that it would harm his family if his username got out. It's like that actually. So he could be being honest.
They're making new conspiracies up now. Oh my God. I got a headache. I got a fucking headache, dude. I got a serious headache. Yes, what I said, just to clarify, because now people want me to clarify in that statement. What I said was I stopped playing mobile games like I used to. Remember, I admitted I used to play WWE Supercar. I used to play Dokkan Battle. I used to spend insane amounts of money on them. I know I admitted it. When I got with Cat, that was the end of that. When I got with Cat, that was it. The entire, more important things was the
entire point of the show. Lion Robot says, I was wrong. The side scrollers crushed it yesterday and also gave us one help.
All right, well, there's really nothing else to say. This is the whole thing, right? It's literally nothing else to address,
Demand
correct?
They get help. Right, for sure. And I think that when you have any sort of family member or community member or even friend, you just, you can be harsh to them while spouting the truth.
Well, it's like the problem.
All right, because I got to start wrapping up with my own shit. My stream usually ends around this time. So here's the deal. Because I need to come to a conclusion here, and I actually have something to say. All right, here's how this all ends. Okay. All right, here's how all this ends. It's this simple. Okay, because I'm done with this now. All right. No, I'm not going to duty stream. Duty stream can kiss my ass. Okay. Here's the deal. All right. Here's how we end it. You gave me you promised me one thing. You gave me something else, right? I thought from what I was doing when I was sitting there that it actually was legit. It was not. It was 100% coming from the wrong direction. Only talk to detractors. It was really, really disingenuous what Craig and his people did there to me. Okay. And the thing is, I'll be honest with you guys. Do you want to know the truth? This was all expected. 100%. It was. Basically what I wanted to do, this is similar to last year, which we didn't talk about, which I'd said I wanted to talk about on that interview, and they never brought it up. This is incredibly similar to the situation where I had car repairs last year, and I wanted to test the waters and see, depending on what I mentioned to you guys publicly, what would happen, correct? So last year my car broke down. I mentioned it on a stream, and basically what happened is all of my detractors use their bullshit identity theft information. Okay. And basically what I've seen is again, the more information you give, they'll do whatever. And they hurt me. They actually use identity theft to find the documentation of the car repair that I did. Did it matter? No. It didn't matter at all, right? I had no purpose, but it was a test. If I just give a little bit of information out, what will happen? What happened is people use identity theft for no good reason to try to find out all my shit online. All right. So the test was successful. And that's what I said. I was like, man, if I give out my information or whatever, it doesn't even matter who I give it to. It's going to backfire. But in the case of this interview, this was also a test. These guys were supposed to be, okay? These guys were supposed to be neutral. They told me they were neutral. Like, that was the thing. That was crazy. Coming in from mutual perspective, fair interview. And that's definitely not what it was. But I believed them. I was like, let's give this a shot. Right? Right? Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. I told you, I went and, did I trust Craig? Yeah, for about 98%, but I always had this inkling in the back of my head that this is what it was going to be. I did. I had this inkling in the back of my head that that's exactly what it was going to be. All right? And that's exactly what it ended up being. Ended up being, we're going to do an interview, but then immediately benefit. And then what are we going to do? We're going to, the next day, crap on him for an entire stream and just benefit again. Just to let the money keep rolling in. Literally, not doing you have people on your show crapping on me, you know nothing about me, to zero research, right? But that's okay, as long as you make money, as long as the money's rolling in. Keep reading the super chats, right? So congratulations to Craig, right? You proved who you really are, along with your group there, disingenuous, and it's messed up. It's pretty messed up. All right. Not once, you did not go into that interview even thinking that I was going to be innocent at any moment. You actually went in with all the preconceived notions from the detractors. All right. So it's fucked up. And it is what it is. But you know what? You live and you learn, right? And this is a test for me. What it really was, it was a test to see what would happen if I did something like this. It went pretty much the worst that you could expect, right? Let's be honest here. Pretty much. But that's to be expected when it comes to me. No one giving me a fair shake or anything, right? So, it's this simple, all right? Because we're going to do a few shout-outs here in a second for contributions. I'll redo them. Moving forward, excuse me. All right? I have no aspirations to be in anyone's interview or anything like this about this shit. All right? At all. Zero. Because I don't know if I could trust anyone. If, these guys are supposed to be neutral. How could I possibly trust anyone moving forward? Right? It's just, it's crazy to think how it turned out after the fact, right? But I don't know. How could you trust anyone? It just seems everyone out there is just they want to use me to get a rise, to get popularity, right? That's 1,000,000% that's what this is. And I've had it. I'm not going to let other people use me in their shit like this. You want to make content about me, then, do it in your own content, your own streams or whatever. Crap on me, nonstop. Profit is what it's all about, right? My misery is your benefit. I can't stop you from doing that. I can't. But I'm going to take the moral high ground. I'm going to make better content than that. I'm not going to be that. All right. Moving forward. I haven't really focused on that to begin with. I'm not going to make my misery, your misery, my benefit. Right. Moving forward, if I want to talk to someone, they're going to be on my show. You understand? So someone actually, I have something interesting I want to speak to. Like, for example, I mentioned earlier, Review USA is someone I would very much like to speak with and have a civil conversation about, like just talking with this guy back and forth civilly about everything, about our history and the vitriol between us and kind of squash the beef, because I actually feel like that's something I need to do. That's important. Right now, I think that would be something very productive that would help. You know what I was saying? I would 1,000,000% do it if it means that at the very, very least, right? It's not going to be something that's then going to be turned into non-stop levels of profit for other people by exploiting me. And it's what that was. This is exploitation. There's a difference between I did an interview and it was objective, and then the exploitation stream is the next day where you make the money rolling in on it. I'm shitting on me the whole stream. And literally everything you're saying is wrong. Oh, this about Phil, that about Phil. Wrong. Oh, he had nothing on the page. He's right there. Everything's written, all my expenses. Like, everything you say is wrong, but that's fine because you're on your show. There's no one to counter you. That was the most wrong thing that could have possibly happened. Literally. That was one of the most wrong things that you could have done, is had that show with no opportunity for me to counter any of it. That's just, I can't believe it. That was so backhand. So that you want to, well, I'm going to pit as snakes. Are you kidding me? Really? After I give you 5.5 hours of my time, that's how you thank me? Wow. And all that money you made on that fucking show, right? The biggest show you've ever had, right? But that's how you do it. You give a whole show that's just crapping on me. Like, wow, amazing, right? Just stupendous. I defended them last night, saying that it was fair, whatever, right? Anyway, I'm done. This is the end of my shoot. I'm going to do shout outs and we're going to get out of here. So by the way, yes, I will, I already said I'm planning to have people here on DSP Raps, to have conversations with people. All right. I would love to have a conversation with Rich and maybe a few others. I already have a couple other people who I'm interested in and or lined up. And, that likely will happen. I don't know exactly what with Rich. I'd actually like to do it soon, but I don't know, when that would happen. I'm sure he'll contact me. But, there you have it. I'm done with this. This is the end of it. I'm happy now because again, the bait was set for this to happen. It happened. So now I know I will never get a fair shake. It's never going to happen. There will never be a fair shake for Darkside Phil. People see too much in the possibility of benefiting from making fun of me, right? Than the offset of, just do it fairly. So since the benefit, it outweighs the morality part of the equation, I won't put myself into the position of risk. You understand? There's no point. So I'm not going to do that any further. I'm just going to do my own content, and I'm going to have people on my show. if they want to be, to have conversations, and that's it. Fair enough? Like, that's not, I'm just not gonna do nothing else. I'm not wasting my time. This is it. This is the end all be all. I address the nonsense. You come on my stream, you bring up nonsense. You're out of here, right? I'm just done with it. I'm not putting up with any of this bullshit anymore. Okay? It's just, I can't. I can't entertain your narrative of bullshit anymore. I just can't. It's not worth my time. I'm too old for this shit. I just want to make my content for my audience and move on. Now I had to waste another stream tonight to watch that, to watch them beat me up. For what? So, I'll do some tip shout outs here. I mean, 90% of the super chats tonight were pretty toxic. I didn't really pay attention to much of them because they were so toxic. I'll take a quick look at these tips here. I don't even know what that means. So to the $1.50 saying trolls are whales donating hundreds of dollars. I don't even know what that means. We talk about on their stream. So, someone's giving me $1.50, says, I'm not your biggest fan, I agree, Adam was scummy today. Dude has a massive superiority complex. Like, who is he to fix someone's life with shitty advice? There you go. Haha, there you go. And by the way, I told you I'm done with this. I'm not retorting to anything, I'm not responding to anything further. I'm done. Tomorrow we're back to standard content. No more drama shit on the internet. I'm done with it, man. Dollar tip. Troll again, ignore this. Here we go. Sasuke man. Wow, that's I don't know how to pronounce this. Sasuke, maybe it's supposed to be Sasuke, but it's with a Q instead of a K. Shez. It's a $5 tip, by the way. This is nasty how they trashed you after that interview. Props for sticking, with it and everything. Yeah, Hold on here. There we go. Get here. And there's another $5 tip. Hiseo just did a $5 tip. He said, man, I'm glad I missed the event. I don't know if I should have attended it and watched it after this. I mean, literally the event is 5 hours of him drilling me answering their questions with the answers you guys have already heard. There was a few other things that you probably have never heard, but it's not too much to give a game, addition of anything. And then, now their post-day show crapping on me for 2.5 hours and making money doing it. So there you go. Right? Gin Martini shaken not stirred to this tip that says, I agree Adam is passive aggressive. He's getting all his info from detractors. My only criticism is, are you not going to read the super chat? I could go through those. I'm not reading the negative ones. It's just, there's a million troll super chats tonight. Someone just tipped me $1 says, I'm actually an ex-con. I don't know if this is true or not. This is an ex-con, and your question was, according to society, if you do something wrong, should you pay for it forever? According to society, yes. Especially if you're an ex-con, good luck 20 years later. You were trying to get a certain kind of job or whatever. I mean, I guess that's a good point, but the difference is, saying something really stupid on the internet versus you went to jail for a serious crime. It's a little different. But then again, maybe there should be at some level there's forgiveness, right? You'd think. So what super chats did and didn't I read here? Let's go through them quickly. Let's see. I did that one. The last one I did was Bloom Kit. What was the last one I shouted out? Seraph. Where is Seraph? Is it even here? There's Seraph. That's the last one I did. Okay. So, Korawa Devil did a super chat and said, hold on. Now it's scrolled. This is pissing me off because I'm trying to read them. I gotta find it again. It's scrolled and completely screwed my whole thing up here. Where is Seraph? Because it was there's Seraph. Okay. So Korawa Devil did a super chat. Trolls are mad we're successful than them. It's not about levels of success, but they certainly know that all this drama that was created this week is going to benefit them. Why do you think that they're giving the side scrollers money? Of course, that's why they're giving the side scrollers money. let's see here. Wow, Sweaty gave me congratulations in a $20 super chat saying real men are not sensitive. Well, there you go. Didn't know that. Radical Jaws, we up to membership. Sorry, Phil, about this. Hope that you're doing okay. Listen to me. I'm fine. Tomorrow we are back to normal stuff. Tomorrow we got a podcast. We got React stuff on this channel. You know, we've got all the normal stuff coming up. It's not a big deal. It really isn't to me. It's like, for 5.5 hours, you know, yeah, cause it's nothing's a big deal to me, man. It's just, I'm done with this nonsense. Kira Blanca did a super chat. Thank you for that. Only I Infinite did a super chat says, debate them and have destiny prepare you. No. Do the foot super chat says you're cherry picking. Yeah, what can I do? I can't watch 2.5 hours. My show's about to end. I can't do 2.5 hours of reacting to their show, shooting me the entire time. Bloom Kid did a super chat says they read all the super chats on their show, though. Right, but if the entire thing is insulting to me, do you think that's fair? Do you think it's fair to have a show where the entire show is attacking someone who's not there, who was a 5.5 hour guest on your show the day before? Does that make any sense? Right? In any universe, does that make sense to do? No. Not at all. Gary Azubidez, you thought we were going to be a regular on there. I was supposed to be a guest. A guest. Not someone to be grilled, interrogated, and treated like a criminal who needs to confess. I was supposed to be a guest on the show. And that's what they did to me. You know, that's how the interview is fine only to find out they ulterior motives all along. Isn't that nice? Radical Jaws had gifted a membership. Congrats to the person who got it. It was, doesn't say. Whoever got it, congrats. 2 last names in a super chat. It says, Archie Umad here. I don't makes me sick to my stomach. Well, there you go. Did the flip in a super chat. He says, you're doing what detractors say you do, but opinion what you want to hear. It was a 2.5 hour show. I don't have 2.5 hours. My stream only goes till 9:15. It's 9:38. 2 last names in a super chat, and earnest person understands why you can't show anything. Exactly. Let's see here. This troll, ignore that. Troll, ignore that. Troll, ignore that. Brosov says, Adam was a former male model and he went gay for pay. I don't believe that. I'm not going to listen to slander about that. That's bullshit. That's stupid. Let's see here. I don't know what that means. So Uzi Gohar did a super chat. I think you're messing up being confrontational. You had a chance to make connections. I think you blew it. Wait, dude, they interviewed me for 5.5 hours. I did exactly what they wanted. Correct? And then they shat on me for 2.5 hours the next day. How am I being confrontational? What are you talking about? They did this to me first. And then I reacted appropriately, defensively, saying, you're out of your minds doing this to me. How are you saying what are you talking about? You know? Anyway, let's see here. Andy did a super J says, let's see. I follow Rich. I'm not a fan of yours. I do support you here. Adam is anti-woke. He's a nut that just learned about you. What he's seeing is unfair. I don't care about anyone streaming with anyone. Nobody cares. Okay. Goober, I don't know if I saw your super chat. Oh no, Goober, your super chat was stupid. And, Cody's saying, will you chew on your lip? My lip is very dry right now. It's been dry all day, Ashley. I think it's because the air is kind of blowing out of my lips tonight. They dry out sometimes. It happens, right? Anyway. Alright guys, so I'm gonna leave it at this. Now more tips came in. I hope they're troll tips, they're skipping them. Let's see. Yep, so ignore that. So we pop a Phil tipped me $2. Sad these guys decided to cash in on you instead of being neutral. I was enjoying their content for years with many others. Keep your head up because your true fans will always appreciate you. Yeah, it is sad. Guys who made good content, but they never made content like this before, that's for sure, right? They literally never made any content like what they made about me. Like I said, if there wasn't money involved, would they have been playing Mario Kart today? Or would they have been, you know what I'm saying? Why did they do that today? Because there's money. It's the only reason. Literally 100% the only reason. So, I got another $2 tip. For Radical Jaws, letting you know, it was Hybrid who got my member gift. Thank you. Congrats, Hybrid. Be sure to thank Radical Jaws. I feel like you're paying today as I got a stupid, I have post-nasal drip now, tonight. I'm sorry to hear that. I hate post-nasal drip. It's awful. Post-nasal drip is really bad, and I don't wish it on anyone, right? Okay? And is that it? No, there was another super chat, a big one. Mike did a super chat. Says, I'm spreading the love. Thank you, Mike, for the big super chat. That's a huge one, Ashley. It's about $20. Sarah really did that really big one, too. Thank you, guys. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. In conclusion, the 2-hour shit show stream that I didn't want to do tonight, it's very simple. All right? Moving forward, I'm not appearing on anyone's show. Don't ask me to. I've already addressed all the bullshit to the best of my ability. I'm done with it. There's no point in bringing it up ever again. Let all these idiots talk about it on their own content and leave me out of it. I'm here to put out fun gameplay, interactive podcasting, react content, and have a fun time with my small audience. I'm happy with that. All right. I'm very happy with that. And I will continue to do that and enjoy that for as long as I can. All right. And I hope that you guys will continue to join me, for all this content moving forward. I appreciate that. All right. The experiment worked because this was an experiment to see if someone could actually treat me fairly and neutrally. They did not. It was completely one-sided, as evidenced by who they spoke with, how they approached it, the emails I just got from Cray. I mean, it's all evidence. Even what they're saying on the show, one-sided stuff. They don't even know the truth about what they're saying. They're literally speaking things that are factually untrue about me, as if they're factually true with an audience, a captive audience. You know, it's messed up. No one to retort or say, "What are you talking about? That's wrong." You know, it's fucked up. So I'm done with it. I'm not entertaining being in an interview like this ever again. There's no point. All right. However, if people want to appear on my, over here and do a nice civil conversation or interview or whatever with me, and we go back and forth. We have it. Like, that's what I mean. Like, if I have Rich on from ViewTech USA, I don't want to interview the guy in Gorilla about shit. I just want to have a conversation. Just shoot the shit with him. Talk with him a little bit back and forth. If he asks me something I don't want to answer, I won't. If I ask him something he doesn't want to answer, he will. Just be civil with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It doesn't have to be some crazy over-the-top dramatic stuff. You know what I'm saying? There you go. So Goober, yeah, sorry. And then Deadlill Productions did a super chat. It's been a while since I said hello, but around watching, I'd like to get your stuff on demand. Shame to hear about this and them screwing you over. What can you do? The dollar signs are too powerful for a lot of people, man. What else can I say? Slayer's here tonight. Re-upped his membership. I joined the stream not expecting this reaction. Even if I was not a fan, I could see that this aftermatch criticism is totally unwarranted. I was just wondering, did you finish Hogwarts? We did. We did. Sadly, we didn't finish everything. You're probably be disappointed. All right. Slayer, because the ending was disappointing. Let me put it this way. The story ending was great. I actually like the story ending, but I get to do all the side content. You'll see if you watch the end of the playthrough. I'm curious if people want to see me play it again to do like an epilogue stream, but I didn't get everything done because of the way that they set up the post-game content. Anyway. All right, everyone. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm done with the drama. By the way, we had insane amount of likes on the stream. We had a crazy amount of support. Thank you all for that. I really appreciate that. Jones the Bones of the Super Tits. They're super biased. I went to their stream. I humped it down. You don't have to do that. The best way to avoid the bullshit, all right, is to just ignore it now. We're not talking about it anymore. We're not going to pay attention to it. It is what it is. Just ignore the nonsense. Okay, guys? I mean it. Just let's do our own thing on my channels and just ignore the hate train that they continue to make about me. There's no point in entertaining any of it. I cannot get a fair shake anywhere. This has been proven now. No matter what, those detractors will follow along and give the incentive that they're going to be nasty to me no matter what, and they can't resist. They just can't resist it. So, all right, everyone. Everyone, please have a good evening. And, thanks for watching. Actually, hold on a second. There we go. Thanks for watching.
Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you on the next one.